in. Okay, welcome everybody. If you're watching this on the recording, this is Civ4 AI Survivor. We're in Season 3. This is Game 3. We've got 6 total AIs here. I'll just zoom out real quick and show the map again. Scattered around the edges, we've got Suryavarman of Khmer, Genghis Khan of Mongolia, Peter of Russia, Peter the Great, Hannibal of Carthage, Sitting Bull, also known as Sitting Duck, of the Native Americans, and then Mao of China over here. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So first question is, does anyone go for an early religion? This is not a very strong religious group of AIs. The last game we had was a highly religious group of AIs, but this game not so much, and it does not look like anyone is pursuing a religion out of the gate. So that'll be very curious to see who ends up getting what religion. Also, all right, so this is a minor thing, but I've just got to talk about how stupid the AI is sometimes. Even on deity, they get a million settlers and units and whatever to start. So Peter is playing as Russia. Everyone on deity starts with agriculture as one of their starting techs. He has a wet corn right next to his capital. That is a 6-food tile once it gets irrigated. He starts the game by building a road on this tile and then building another road on this tile. I mean, seriously? Okay, so that's a little thing, but it's just sometimes you can only shake your head at how the AI chooses to play this game. Instead of improving this really good tile, he builds useless roads. All right, zooming out. So what we want to watch, since no one's going for a religion, we want to watch where they're sending their settlers. One of the predictions before the game was that Genghis Khan would beeline his first settler directly into the tundra, and it looks like he's doing that. Not quite as bad as you might think, though. So he is gone for this spot, 3 tiles away. It's actually not that bad. He's got a grassland pigs and an iron resource. He can't see the iron yet, but he does have it. But needless to say, he did immediately go towards his backline tundra, and no one else has settled yet. So Sitting Bull's going towards the middle of the map. That's smart. Peter's going down here, and Mao's heading for the coast. So we should see some settlers planted shortly. Okay, I don't know if this is the smartest spot for Mao, the heavy pregame favorite, to go here on the coast, because there's very little land being grabbed here, but who knows. Surrey is founded on the ivory resource. It's kind of interesting. Hi, Sir Lancelot, by the way. Welcome. On the ivory, so he does claim that. No food for this city. Oh, I guess he's got... Never mind, he does have food. He's got the dreaded Plains cow and a rice in the second ring. Sitting Bull got a grassland pigs. Until he gets that, the city's pretty food poor. Hannibal still wandering. Peter still Oh, Peter's going towards Mal. That could be interesting. So Peter claims this spot. This makes total sense from an AI perspective. The AI pretty much just goes for... No, the AI, Workland, the AI does not cheat. They do not know the resources are there. If they don't have the tech, they can't see the resource. That's one thing that the Civ4 AI does not do. Civ3 AI was infamous for cheating about resources it couldn't see yet, but not this game. So the AI loves this spot because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources. It actually has 6, but it can't see the uranium yet. No real poverty point this time. Yeah, poverty point was infamously settled last year in like this extremely weak spot for a city. All right, and so now we've got Hannibal's spot too, dead south. He does have a gold resource, so that's nice. And this city has a grassland pigs, high food. So yeah, we'll see what happens. The fact that Peter went directly towards Mao is not great. It would have been better for Mao if Peter had put his second city like over here. So in the meantime, now we'll just kind of click next turn for a little bit. Mao is interesting. So Mao and Surrey are going for the early mysticism. So they might be the ones to found an early religion. That's weird about Mao because he is one of the least religious AIs in the entire game. But he has improved his corn early, so that's a good sign. He'll grow quickly off of that. Another improved corn up there. You see the wine tile gets farmed, which is probably the best thing you can do with it early in the game. And the AI was smart enough to go for the fish and not the crab up there. Yeah, Mao going for religion is a true, like, shake your head, what the heck's going on moment. Let's see, what's Peter done? He's building a road to Asaya. The AI loves to connect its cities with roads. No, Genghis is not a particularly religious AI. I'm pretty sure that was tongue-in-cheek. But he did connect his ivory, and he did irrigate his corn. Should have irrigated his other corn, but, you know, you can't expect the AI to do everything smart. So now Sitting Bull's hopped into the religion race as well, also going for mysticism. Yeah, the great communist religion. All right, so Mao and Suri are going to found the game's two first religions, because one is on meditation, one's on polytheism, so they will get the game's first religions. This spot in particular, Haralaya, is going to have a lot of culture, because the Khmer natively are creative, and then there's going to be a holy city in there. This will also be a holy city, but this is kind of a stupid place to put a holy city, because it's not going to get much culture. I guess there is one thing that's noteworthy, though. When Shanghai becomes a holy city, it will pop borders quickly, and so the copper will be in range faster than it would be otherwise. Mao founding the cult of personality. So Hannibal has picked up bronze working. You can tell from his early slavery pop. I'm also going to increase the sound a little bit. There we go, because it was a little bit soft. We want to be able to hear that war horn when it goes off. And for right now, there's not too much going on. There's always this lull after like the first religion gets popped. We see some settlers under production. I don't think anyone has finished a settler yet, though. And we'll know when someone does. Who was in the... Someone almost had a... All right, so Khmer seem to be the ones pushing settler. They are the closest. Bizarrely in this second city at size 1 that the AI likes to push a settler out of, inexplicably. We're also going to see a lot of barbarian activity in this game. So there's the first religion. Mao has decided that the Chinese are going to practice Judaism, which is kind of a strange thing, but whatever floats your boat. And then we should see, yeah, Buddhism pop up here. So Mao is Jewish in this game. And it looks like the Khmer are going to be Buddhist, which I believe that they do pick Buddhism if they have a choice, because that's the natural religion in Thailand. Okay, Jewish China. Yeah. We do have an early city here out of Peter, so he's found right on the horses. Kind of a little bit odd. Probably should not have found it on the horses, but it makes more sense than you might think, because it opens up both the corn and the grassland cows here. So that's why he's gone for that. Sitting Bull went for religion, did not get the religion, so now we'll see if he ends up going for the third religion, the monotheism religion. And elsewhere, let's see where we have any settlers out. So there's a settler here. You can tell because otherwise the archer wouldn't pop up. And there should be one here. Oh no, that's covering a worker. Never mind. There's also one here. So Temujin's also finished a settler. Let's see where he sends this. He should send it north. He's apparently decided to just keep it in the city and not move it. Yeah, Peter's off to a good start. I agree. This is a good start from Peter. And over here, yeah, Mao needs to get off his rear end and work on pushing out some settlers, because he's behind in the expansion race, and that's usually a bad sign. So yeah, our pregame favorite down near the bottom of the scorer, but this early, that doesn't mean all that much. Suri is not imperialistic. He's creative and expansive, so he gets cheap workers and free culture. Here's his new settler. Looks like he's heading for this. I turned off the resources so we can see the units, but looks like he's heading for the sugars and spices here. And Carthage, yeah, Carthage, have they finished it yet? Yes, just finished it this turn. And the Mongols have a settler too, although where, here it is. Where it's going is kind of an open question. Also about to finish a very, very early Great Wall, no doubt due to having the stone there. So here it goes. So that settler is probably going to found on that tile where the archer is, would be my guess. And Suri is going to found on that tile? Okay. Yeah, so deep in the jungles, but 2 sugars, 2 spices. Good long-term city, if very, very weak to start the game. Sugar, spice, and everything nice. I wouldn't put too much stock in the early score. You need to get a little bit further into the game before it starts being meaningful. Alright, no, he went for the plain till plant, which means he has very little food until this rice comes into his borders. But hey, it is a third city. More cities is always good in this game for the AI. And they've got a settler out here. And a settler just finished here for Mao as well. He will probably try to settle over here in this river valley. So there's the Great Wall, very early Great Wall, not enclosing a lot of terrain. It's odd that it does not extend here, just kind of comes to an end right there. I guess the game considered that to be like the seashore or something. Oh, thank you. A little bit of lunch. So we'll keep an eye there. So here's Hannibal's third city, heading towards. I will say for Hannibal, who has been kind of a screw up in past years, he's doing a good job with these early cities. Like, you want to push towards the center of the map quickly. We also have our first Barb city. We'll see what that ends up trolling these guys up here. So Mao, our pregame favorite, is the last one to get a third city, and that's often a bad sign. I mean, he does have a settler out, but it's still moving around. And he seems to be suffering from unhappiness right now. So yeah, that could be a problem for him. He doesn't have any happy resources. The AI, when they don't have... and here we go. So here's the third city for Sitting Bull. It's in a pretty awful spot. Really weak spot. Almost all jungle. The city is actually unable to grow past size 1, so that's pretty sad. I'm going to screenshot that just because it's really, really sad. Peter also just finished another settler. He's also got his copper connected, and he's chopping down the forest, so he's doing great. He might be on 4 cities before Mao's on 3. Mao's probably going to plant on either this tile or this tile, the one to the northwest. Alright, so he's going for that spot, and that is a good city. It's too bad that's not his holy city. I'm curious how close Shanghai is to popping borders here. Mao. Alright, Shanghai's at 75 culture, so it's 5 turns from popping borders, and this copper will help him out. Yeah, so Guangzhou goes down there. Like I said, it's a good spot. He's just going to need happiness more than anything else. Peter is the next one, so we'll watch where Peter's settler goes for right now. He's heading even further into the center of the map than I thought. He's going to settle on that tile right there. Or nope, shows what I know. He went for this tile instead. I guess he wanted to get that sugar into the second tile radius. Alright, so map's starting to fill up already. Peter is definitely doing the best at the early land grab, and Suri's doing a nice job over here too, of clearing up this corner of the map. Yeah, Mao needs to get this gold spot right. If he can claim this, he'll have gold. He also should have this ivory. I would expect that he'll have this as well, and then he'll have enough happiness then. He does have another settler in production, although it's a ways away. Peter's got his settler in production for his 5th city, and the Mongols have a settler out here. Yeah, so China's behind right now. I would say this has been a weak opening for them, as evidenced by the fact that Mao's in last place in score. Just goes to show what the opinion can mean sometimes, right? I mean, it's still early, right? Long way to go, but this has not been a great start. So let's also check where the barbarians have popped up. So we still just have the 1 barb city up here, but there's quite a few barbs roaming around, especially in the middle of the map. Keep an eye on if they get any more cities. And then there's always the random chance of who manages to get this. So yeah, 4 barb archers, a little bit different than the 4 warriors that were popping up before we did that world builder editing. Over here, let's see, Temujin is still building walls and archers. How about Suri? He should have another settler in production or en route somewhere. I don't see any right now, though. Worker. Alright, here's a settler right here. So we'll keep an eye on this guy, too. Watch Peter send a settler into the tundra. So, where's it? Suri's got a settler here. Hannibal has another settler here as well. So these two might be racing each other for a spot. Maybe. They both seem to want to head towards the middle of the map. And Peter has, like we said, Peter's got another settler too. Doesn't he? Did he already get it all the way up here? Oh wow, Peter's already got a settler all the way up here. He's land grabbing like a beast over here. Doing a great job. Alright, oh wow. If Peter settles here, that would be a very aggressive spot. Very, very aggressive. Also, okay, so Sitting Bull is also about to pick up his own religion here. So he has indeed chosen to go for monotheism. And Mao's about to finish his 4th settler. He's just a little bit behind, but because he was more isolated, he probably has more space He's not under as much pressure. If Peter gets drawn over here into a conflict with, oh boy, so this spells conflict between Peter and Suryavarman pretty heavily, putting a city over here. Temujin also has grabbed his 5th city, right on Old Sarai. So the west is filling up a little bit faster than the east right now, which I think is what a lot of us were expecting. And Sitting Bull, who knows what he's doing. He's also behind in terms of settlers. He's building some cottages, for what that's worth. And he's about to pop a religion. So Peter want land, indeed. Yeah, we'll see what he takes. I don't think there's any preference for Sitting Bull in terms of religion. All right, and now, oh, look at this. I don't know what Hannibal's doing here. He's just founding in a straight diagonal line towards the middle of the map. Yeah, Mao's still kind of isolated over here. Huh. It's a strange setup so far. Kind of a weird setup. So we've got Stonehenge under production here, the pyramids here, so 2 fairly big early wonders. Yeah, Peter being the jerk who settles in your face. So he did found a random religion. He went for poverty, for Confucianism, of all things. So, okay. This means that he will, well, I guess it depends on how he can spread his religion, but there's a real chance that Sitting Bull ends up with a religion that no one else follows, and he's going to be hated by Suryavarman and hated by Mao because they all have different religions. Yeah, Stonehenge would be nice to counter the Khmer culture. Peter's got like room to backfill cities here and everything. Alright, there you go. So he's just converted. Now no one... If you just want to see how much everyone dislikes him. So here's Sitting Bull. He's the worst enemy of Mao, the worst enemy of Peter, the worst enemy of Suryavarman. So he's annoyed towards Genghis, he's annoyed towards Mao, he's annoyed towards Peter, he's annoyed towards Suryavarman. Cautious towards Hannibal. Needless to say, and here's how they feel about him. Annoyed, cautious, annoyed, annoyed, annoyed. So if you're wondering why Sitting Bull is the favorite for first to die, Sitting Bull's Confucian, Mao is Jewish, sure, why not? But Mao, yeah, that's true. Mao does not care a lot about religion. He has one of the lowest religious preferences in the game. Mao is finally out to a 4th city over here. Not a bad spot. A little low on food, but not terrible. He still does need to reach out to the gold, but no one else seems to be reaching over here too quickly, so he has time. We'll see if he doesn't have any more settlers in production now. So now Sitting Bull is last in terms of expansion. Suryavarman ended up going here. Angkor Wat and Angkor Thom right next to each other. So he's been pushing east as well, although now he's working on it's probably a doomed Stonehenge build. Pretty sure Stonehenge is going to get taken by Peter. Yeah, because he's only 2 turns away. He's got the inside track there. And it's turn 50, so let's zoom out, get a nice overview picture of the game situation. I did not expect Hannibal to settle like this in a diagonal line towards the middle of the map. Oh, and I guess Khmer's picked up another city here. Surrey's off to a nice start. I like what he's doing. The problem is he's already running out of territory because Hannibal and especially Peter have expanded towards him pretty aggressively, whereas Sitting Bull and Mao have some more room. I guess Peter's got room in the tundra too, and Temujin's got this little peninsula down here. So... yeah, it's interesting. Interesting start. Just out of curiosity, let's check the power bar graphs. Okay, so Peter and Temujin are the highest, and Sitting Bull is in last. GMP is not really that useful right now, but it's mostly culture right now, because like Mao does not have a really high GMP, but his culture is propping him up, and so is the culture out of the Khmer. Hannibal heard that I said you should go towards the middle, and so that's what he's doing. So yeah, the bizarre to see Mao second in most cultured civs. Just don't see that very often. So we do have another city for the Native Americans. We also have Stonehenge out of Peter. So that's a key wonder. Since he is not creative, that'll give him free border pops everywhere, and that'll help him, as we said, against Khmer culture. The fact that Sitting Bull expanded this way, away from Mao, is also good for Mao. Oh, show food, please. Sure. Okay, so yeah, Sitting Bull's also last in food. Most of them are pretty close together, but Khmer out in front. Good question. You think Sitting Bull's gearing up for the Barb City? He might. The problem is this is on a hill, which is going to make it much harder to take this, because you get the hill bonus. Archers have an innate get an innate hill bonus as well. The fortify bonus, the city bonus, that will probably stand there for a while. And Hannibal's got a settler right over here too. Okay, so needless to say, this will be a source of dispute between these two. Now Hannibal settled for a closer spot, gives him iron. I see a lot of people working on iron at the moment. Here's another stupid thing the AI does. So Suryavarman is expansive. He gets cheap granaries. He's delayed pottery for 50 turns. That's not very smart. Chaco Canyon is bad. Yeah, that's a pretty bad city. There's no food bonuses. It's on horses, so kind of waste the yield from them. You guys are like, that's pretty bad. And it does sound like a Mario Kart track, I agree. Let's see, does Mal have another settler out? He really should at this point. He's building one. Does he have one on the field? No, he doesn't. So that's a mistake on his part. He's just not pushing settlers fast enough. Also, we now have a Barb City here. So that's a new one, right in the middle of the map. And I'm trying to see if there's any more. Oh, here's a settler. Not even being escorted. Oh, I guess it is. Surrey is... Wait, what? Where did he turn around and walk the other direction? I thought he was about to found right there. Apparently not. Peter ran out to these early cities. He's kind of stopped a little bit since then. I think he might be trying to get this Barb City too. Yeah, Mao, you're not doing terribly, Mao, but you really do need to get some more... Oh, there he goes. Okay, so he has a settler out. We'll see. He should probably send this to, as you guys have identified, this gold and ivory area. I don't know if he will or not. Meanwhile, Temujin is actually settling the deep south. This will give him a calendar resource down the road. Silks, a little bit more happiness. He's struggling to expand his borders, though. He will get the pyramids, so that's something. Not a leader you expect to get the pyramids. So, oh, what the heck is this? Okay, so this also seems likely to lead to conflict. I'm just gonna say that this is a very aggressive spot from Hannibal. Is he on 6 cities now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's on 6 cities. Not bad. Is he the first to 6? No, I think Temujin was the first to 6. I guess Surrey should have planted up here when he had the chance, because he had a settler wandering around up here. But he didn't actually grab that spot. Ironworking seems to be a popular research. Yeah, Hannibal's just trolling. And the Mongols building Great Wall is kind of trolling too. So ironworking seems to be pretty popular right now. Just about everybody's going for it. Is anyone attacking this city yet? Doesn't look like it. Barbs are wandering around. I'm still trying to figure out where that's... Oh, okay, here's that settler. So Mal's going for a spot over here. He's probably targeting this rice and... or, excuse me, wheat and... here's our first open borders offer. Probably targeting this wheat and sheep spot. If I'm focusing a little bit much on Mal, it's because so many of you picked him. He's like the pick to win from half of you. Yeah, everybody's settling up in the face of Khmer, which is usually not a good idea for a creative Civ. Is he on 5 or 6? He's on 5 cities, and unfortunately for Surrey, he's almost out of land right now. That was one of the reasons why I think a lot of people are hesitant to pick him, just because of that. So there's a pyramids build. The unexpected. So it just got whipped to completion. I don't know if you saw that, but his capital dropped down to size 4, and that should goes to show that the AI is very willing to whip wonders. Remember how Peter rushed out to 5 cities? Well, he's still on 5 cities right now. I think he has some settlers out, but he has been a little bit slow here after that initial burst of cities. Yeah, he has not been too fast. So there's a troll spot from kind of a troll spot from Mao. If he manages to backfill behind this, he'll be in a nice position to clean up a lot of land. Strangely, he's got a Jewish monastery. Don't expect Mao to be building a lot of religious stuff, but any AI will spread out their faith a little bit. And here's our newest city from Sitting Bull. I didn't even realize this one. He is settled on the marble. Nice resources, marble, gold, iron, but he doesn't have any food to work these tiles. He should have found it on this tile. Then he would be able to grab the pigs, and then he'd actually have enough food to work these resources. I still think Mao is going to get this gold spot, though. Could be wrong, but I think he's going to end up claiming that. Anyway, so yeah, Hannibal has been building like this little dagger that goes into the middle of the map. He's been spreading out nicely. He's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities, but he's basically out of room now. He can probably cram another city or two into these cracks, but that's about it. Peter's still on 5 cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Surrey's still on 5. Still struggling here. No, never mind. He just founded his sixth city there, and we'll see if anyone tries to shove a city into this little crack here. But there is still space in the east. It's the one area where there's still room, which is part of the reason why I think a lot of us, including me, I should be clear, decided to pick Mal, just because he's got more room to expand long term. And we still haven't really seen a serious effort against any of these barb cities. So the next question will really be when someone decides to go to war. I would expect Sitting Bull to be the target because he's like everybody's worst enemy right now. Worst enemy of Genghis Khan and... Wait, worst enemy of... Wait, hold on. Let me just talk to him. Worst enemy of Genghis Khan, worst enemy of Mao, worst enemy of Suryavarman. The only one he's not the worst enemy of is Peter. Who is Peter's worst enemy, just out of curiosity? Does he even have one right now? Peter... I don't think he has a worst enemy yet, Peter. Genghis Khan apparently built a pyramid of human skulls, something like that. Okay. There's another settler. Mao is like belatedly claiming this territory, but he still doesn't seem to want to go for this spot. All right, so a couple religious / diplomatic developments. Genghis Khan picks up Surrey's religion. That will make them much less likely to fight each other. Also, Surrey settled this spot, which is like also kind of a troll spot on the borders with Peter. So these two will probably be on good terms. And then Hannibal picked up the same religion as Sitting Bull, so that will make them a lot less likely to go to war too. As Sitting Bull attacks this city with chariots. Looks like he's killed one of the archers defending it. Then over here, there's chariots roaming around trying to attack Goose. Alright, so Mal founded this spot down in the tundra. Not a great city, no food. Kind of a weak spot. Buddhist Bash Brothers, yeah. Hannibal probably will not fight Sitting Bull now, I agree. Seems unlikely. And Peter has finally founded another city on this iron. He just decided to stop on 5 for a long time. Alright, Peter, I think, is getting ready to go to war, though. Look at this. I think he's got the largest military right now. Yeah, Peter's got the largest by a pretty good margin, so I wonder who he would choose to go after. Sitting Bull is probably the most likely target. Or it could be the Khmer, too. Hard to say. I mean, he's getting a lot of cultural pressure from the Khmer. But, like, alright, so it looks like he's about to declare war on Hannibal, based on where these units are moving. I don't know for sure, but that looks like who he's targeting. Let's see. Do we have that? Because that sure looks like a war declaration. Is this our first attack of the game? Oh, Genghis adopts police state. It's his favorite civic. No war declaration. So maybe I guess they're just moving through on open borders. So that means he's probably heading for Poverty Point. Would seem like the target if he's not attacking at Hippo. That's first great spy is from the... Oh, and he's in the city right now. That's from building the Great Wall early on. So Peter is our early score leader here. Mao is in last place in score, which is not a good sign for him. But he continues to settle more territory. And if he keeps settling more territory, he'll be in this game later on. Meanwhile... Oh, and... So here comes another Hannibal settler. So Hannibal might actually end up getting this area over here that we thought was going to go to Mao. Meanwhile, Peter's force continues marching onwards. So it looks like he's going to declare war on Sitting Bull. That would be my guess. Because he's definitely moving on someone. Alright, there we go. So there's our first war declaration. As Peter converts to Buddha. Okay, so we're getting a Buddhist block over here in the corner. Although these three leaders are all Buddhist. Surrey's doing a good job of spreading that around. Alright, so first war declaration. Tick up the counter. It begins. This will probably not be the last attack against Sitting Bull, who, for reasons of peace weight, is extremely unpopular. And we get one turn before we get a request to join the war that we'll turn down. How many cities does Mao have? Good question. I think he has 6 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 7 currently. And there's another Barb city down here in the tundra too. So who claims Goose and Angle are kind of important. Let's just do a quick count of cities, shall we? So Hannibal, oh, never mind. Hannibal just took this city. He just captured Vamdol. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities. And he had a settler wandering around over here too somewhere a second ago. Alright, so 8 for Hannibal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Sitting Bull, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Mao, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Peter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Temujin, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Surrey. So most of them have right around 7. That seems to be pretty typical. Peter, King of Russia. Alright, so I don't think this attack will succeed. There's too much cultural defenses. The archers, remember, Sitting Bull is protective, so he gets beefed up archers. He also has 2 dog soldiers, so if this attack goes against Poverty Point, it will not succeed. I don't know if he actually attacked with any of them or not. And Mao also just finished the Great Lighthouse. Not bad. He has a settler over here too. So Mao's starting to get back in it. He has 4 coastal cities. And he has... Wait, are that 2? He has 2 settlers over here. Huh. So anyway, this initial war does not look like it's going to be very successful, but it will probably weaken Sitting Bull. And I am curious if Mao is going to use these. So, Great Prophet. Peter does not have his own religion, but so he might use that to slingshot another religion. Oh yeah, we should refresh the map shortly. I'm sorry, I'm being curious about where Mao's going to plant these settlers. I guess I shouldn't focus so much on him. Alright, Inner World Builder. Refresh the map. There we go. That way we'll be able to know who's building wonders, when cities get captured, that kind of thing. Yeah. You're like, okay, Mao can maybe still recover from this. Alright, he wants open borders. Because like he's going to found on this city next turn. I don't think there's much doubt of that. Then he's got another settler roaming around up here. I don't know where he thinks he can plant a city. Maybe on that tile? Yep, that is a really bad city. And I don't know where this one's going. Maybe it's like he's determined not to get the gold over here. Alright. In a spot that narrowly misses these gold resources. But it does claim that ivory. So once Mao has a lot of territory, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 9 cities, and he still has room for a little bit more too. Because like there's room for another city over here, and then there's this Barb city in the south. So he's in pretty good shape long term. And then there's also the fact that he will likely gain territory from Sitting Bull when Sitting Bull inevitably dies. All right, so map's pretty full at this point, right? Like it's pretty much been settled. Let me zoom out and get a nice overview shot of that, just for future reference's sake. The map always gets a little bit cluttered, but there we go. Just so we can see the borders before it all gets torn apart through warfare. Yeah, it's weird, right? I don't know why the AI is like deliberately avoiding. Maybe it's trying to avoid founding on a floodplains tile, so avoid wasting it. I don't know. Okay, thanks. We'll sign that. So anyway, the war is still ongoing. Here comes... Oh wow, and Mal found the Oracle too. I thought that Sitting Bull was going to get that. Huh. Let's see what he picked up. So he's got the Great Lighthouse and the Oracle too. Alright, so he went for metal casting, which is what the AI most often goes for. It's a nice pickup, as you might expect. If he can get that gold resource connected, he'll get the doubled value with forges. Anyway, but there's another attack coming in here. This is a much larger attack. I don't know that it'll necessarily be more successful, but that is a lot of units. He probably should attack somewhere other than at this holy city. Alright, and this is a war I didn't see coming. Alright, Temujin attacking Surrey. Oops. That's a pretty good stack there. So let's tick up the counter before I forget about anything else. Genghis Khan's like, shared religion? I don't care. He's still going to attack you anyway. Wow, okay, that's a pretty good stack. That's, that's quite large. We better check the power bar graphs. Okay, so Temujin's up here, and Suri's down here. I don't know. Not sure this is going to go that well. Yeah, I think the city... Angkor Thom would be a different story. If this city is probably toast if Temujin attacks it. Looks like he's going for the stronger city, but if we take a closer look here, the city is mostly full of chariots, which don't get benefit from defensive bonuses. So who knows? That is an awful lot of axes and swords. Meanwhile, over here, Peter is sending his force in, but against a city with walls, that's unlikely to succeed. Again, remember, wars this early often can backfire too. The civs that are more peaceful... Alright, never mind. Now he turned around and he's going for this spot. Mao, wow, Mao is just stacking up the wonders right now. He still has a lot of unhappiness in his city, so he just whipped that one to completion. Huh. Alright, we'll see. Someone at some point was going to claim these gold resources, and Goose is seeing some attention too. Is anyone going for this? No, Angle is still being ignored at the moment. Alright, so let's watch this attack over here. I can only watch one of these two on the inner turn. Wait, where is it? Here we go. I think the city's going to fall pretty easily. Alright, yeah, I agree with New Plan. Peter's War looks like it's going to backfire. And Temujin's War looks like it's not. We might be seeing a very powerful Mongol leader over here in the west. Now remember, all you guys jumped off the Mongol bandwagon after we saw that he lacked horses, but he might just be able to conquer his way to horses. He's like, I don't have horses, so I don't care. I'm just going to build a lot of swords instead in that case. Yeah, because there's no horses anywhere in his territory. But he might be able to conquer his way to some. So that's our first city of the game changing hands. Up here at Poverty Point, it looks like Peter has mostly managed to promote a lot of these defenders. Look at those City Garrison 3 archers. Yeah, he's not cracking through there. I don't think he killed a single unit there. And Hannibal, yeah, I don't know what Hannibal's doing either. He does have a lot of units right here. Well, not a lot. I guess they're just protecting workers. I don't think... And wow, Hannibal already has construction too. That's an early construction. So he's building catapults. I don't know if he's planning on attacking anyone. If he did, let's check Hannibal and how he feels about the other guy. So it looks like he's least happy with Suryavarman. Also note, Hannibal will not declare war at pleased, so he won't declare on Temujin, Mao, or Peter. He will declare on Sitting Bull or Suryavarman. Poor Sitting Bull, he's +4, and yet he's still only cautious with Hannibal. Sitting Bull, yeah, he might last for a while. We'll see. We shall see. I think we're going to mostly watch the Mongol attack right now, because they seem to be the ones in the midst of the biggest attack. Geez, he's got a lot of units. This is also big for Mao. He's made his way to hereditary rule, so that means he'll be able to connect his wines, and he'll also be able to benefit from having lots of units standing in his cities. So Mao, again, is playing kind of the long game here, and he's looking pretty good. This city is also under attack, but it's just random as to who will be able to capture it. I would say Sitting Bull is at the favorite because he has a chariot as opposed to just archers, but with that many units, it's hard to predict. Alright, so here's the Mongol units walking around. War with Genghis Khan. I don't think this attack is going to go as well. Angkor Thom. Alright, well, there we go. So Hannibal was plotting war. I think that may have been pulled in from Peter. I'm not sure. Hard to say. But in any case, this is why Sitting Bull is the heavy, heavy favorite for first to die. Just because Peace Weight makes him the enemy of pretty much everyone in the game. Meanwhile, Mao's just quietly doing his thing in the corner. We'll see if he jumps into any of these wars. I don't think... Yeah, oh my god, look at this. Sitting Bull's like, I hate everyone. Oh, is he the worst enemy of everyone in the game now? Pretty close. See, Mao doesn't like him either. It's pretty much a dog pile at this point. So at this point, everyone other than Mao is in a war. The one thing about Sitting Bull is he is pretty good at just sitting there turtling, but... And Peter has converted to Mao's religion, so they'll be much more likely to be friendly. Over here, Genghis is attacking Angkor Thom. Note that he was smart enough to move to the other side of the river. I don't think he is enough to attack this, but there are an awful lot of chariots on defense, so maybe, because after all, the chariots don't get the defensive bonuses. Over here, this attack against Poverty Point is equally pointless, and there are some catapults here, though, so maybe Hannibal will have more success. What this will do is it will mean that Sitting Bull is going to be behind in tech. He's going to struggle a lot. So let's watch and see if this attack against Angkor Thom goes through. Doesn't look like it. Again, Genghis really needs... Yeah, so he killed some units, but not enough, and he lost most of his stack. You're going to see a Great General probably pop up. Yeah, I was going to say probably Great General for Suryavarman too. Up here there are 2 catapults, so we'll see if they... It's just hard to crack Sitting Bull. He will likely be worn down over time, though. And over here, the archers are... barbarians are still holding out for the moment. Randomly, there's a Sitting Bull unit on its way, though. So the defenses are now down in Chaco Canyon, but there's not really anything to follow up and actually attack. Peter, let's see, Hanging Gardens for Peter. It's a nice wonder for him. He doesn't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He only has 6 cities. It's weird that he went out to 7 cities, or excuse me, went out to 5 cities so quickly, but then ended up getting stuck on 6. Meanwhile, look at Temujin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's now up to 8. And we know Mao has 9. Let's see if this attack has any success at Chaco. I don't think it will. At horrible city Chaco Canyon. Yeah, I didn't think so. Just too many defenders. So you might want to look at the power bar graph because we haven't done that in a little while. So Temujin is still first by a lot. Hannibal second, Peter third. So Sitting Bull is still pretty weak. Mao hasn't started his attack yet, hasn't built up, and Suri is kind of low as well. In GMP though, Hannibal's first, Mao is second in GMP, and it's not just all culture at this point. Peter's third. And food, it is Hannibal and Mao. So Mao is like second in most of the stuff. Production, Peter's first in production. Sitting Bull is trailing in almost everything. And here's culture. Not surprisingly, the creative Civ's in first in culture. More like Crapo Canyon. Yeah, dog soldiers are 4 strength, but they do more damage against melee units. Is their special thing. As we get more requests to join the war from the AI. Here, so Peter's got yet another force, but again, if he were to build catapults, he could take this city. Until he does, though, he will not have any success, and he will keep throwing units against Poverty Point and dying. Hannibal's got a more sizable force here, and he does have 2 cats with it. So perhaps Peter just lost his entire stack to a man there. That was not a good choice. Here comes Temujin with another force. He's researching horseback riding. I don't think he has horses to do anything with it, though. Meanwhile, Suryavarman's mostly building swords. That said, he should be able to have... Suryavarman should be able to get elephants in play pretty soon. He just needs horseback riding and construction. I don't think he has either right now. What's he got? So he can research construction, but no, he doesn't have that or horseback riding. Peter, why didn't you just take that nice empty land by Mao? I know, right? Like, this spot should not have gone to Mao. Wants us to cancel deals. Of course. Trying to find where the Mongol stack... Alright, it looks like the Mongols... Oh, here it is. I was going to say, where did the Mongol stack go? Wandering around. This city is actually semi-vulnerable to being taken back. Hannibal probably has the most likely to do something stack right now, especially if it goes after Chaco, which is not very well defended. Note that Mao is quietly climbing. He's now into second place after of kind of a rough start. And he's building some stables for some reason. Alright, so Chaco is probably going to fall to Hannibal. He's got, if I turn off the resources here, yeah, he's just got too many units. And he has catapults to drop the defenses. Not that there's a lot of defenses here, but as Peter just keeps slaughtering his units against poverty point, it's like, Peter, get some catapults, man. Research construction. You're not going to do anything until you get that. Down here, Temujin's offense seems to have stalled out. Well, never mind. I was going to say, he's got another big stack coming in. But again, without catapults, it's going to be hard to make much progress. Alright, so Chaco has no defenses left. And that should not be enough. Dog soldiers do really poorly against collateral damage. Because once they have such low base strength to begin with, once they get collateraled, it just makes it much worse. So Mao's asking us to cancel deals with the Native Americans. That also suggests that he is hostile to them. And that he might be thinking about attacking. So first city for Sitting Bull falls. Again, it's probably not going to last too long. What was the one prediction? That he might last to the industrial era? I'm not sure. Hannibal, though, is doing well. Maybe not as well as he could be doing. But he's claimed a fair amount of land for himself, and he just took another city. You know, he got this Barb city. He's taken an enemy city. He could end up emerging as the top dog in this game if he's able to absorb most of. The real question is going to be who absorbs most of this land, right? Because if it all goes to Hannibal, he'll emerge as like the runaway. But Peter's also attacking, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mao jumped into this either. Has to be a pretty tasty target. So there is still another war over here between Suri and Temujin. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere at the moment. Just kind of battering their heads against each other. Oh, I guess there's like a random Mongol army over here. I don't think it's going to take anything though. Because Temujin doesn't have horses, he's just building swords everywhere. Just like mass swords all the time. That's an awful lot of horse archers, and yeah, it does look like Mao is potentially building up to attack over there. He also might be targeting this Barb city, because I see swords and horse archers on their way towards Goose. Yeah, at the very least he's going for Goose, which he seems likely to take. But he's building enough units that I suspect he's also thinking about attacking against Sitting Bull. Anyway, so here comes... Oh, Sitting Bull's got a pretty decent stack there. We'll see if Hannibal and Peter are both cornering on poverty points. Or both gathering on it. And with catapults... Oh, look at this. Worst war with Hannibal, war with Peter, worst enemy of Hannibal, worst enemy of Genghis Khan. He's everyone's worst enemy. He's the worst enemy of every single leader in the game right now. Somehow he's the worst enemy of Suryavarman, even though Suryavarman is actively at war with the Mongols. I don't know how that happens, except for peace weight. Oh, Suri took this city back. Look at that. So maybe the Mongols are not in such a great shape after all. He took the city back, and Mao completes another useful wonder in the Colossus. He's like quietly getting stronger over here. And there's only 2 archers left here. So Sitting Bull has a sword over here though too, so he could also claim this. Just random as to who gets this. Yep, so Sitting Bull claims it with that sword. So I guess that's a nice pickup for him. I don't know how long he's going to be able to hold that city though. Yeah, we can refresh the map as requested. Alright. So Poverty Point is likely the next city to fall. It is very well defended though. Like there's a lot of units there, but Peter has got a lot of forces, Hannibal has a lot of forces. Yeah, Mao is econing well, Hannibal is gaining territory. But like I said, there's enough units being built in China that I suspect they're plotting war. Alright, so Poverty Point just saw the defenses disappear. Alright, so that war in the west has now come to a close. Not a successful war for Temujin. That mostly just weakened the two of them more than anything else. So in the end, no cities ended up changing hands. So that allows us to focus even more. It's like, there's a little force that's gathering. And so here's another thing that's useful to look at. Look at the AI mission that these units have. It says unit AI attack city. So that means this is not a defensive force. This is intended to attack someone else. So yeah, it certainly looks like Mao's building up for war. Whether that's with the Barb city or someone else. Also, why is no one settled right here? There's clearly room for another city here. But in the meantime, we'll keep watching Poverty Point. Alright, so someone just attacked there. It looks like Hannibal attacked. Peter turned around and moved the other direction, so a lot of damaged unit there. Boy, Sitting Bull has some highly promoted units, doesn't he? But Hannibal had a lot of units retreat as well. A lot of those Numidians retreated, and they'll all get a chance to promote, so we should see some more units being traded here between turns. Looks like Poverty Point's going to fall. Almost everything in that city died. So Peter was able to promote and attack again. And for some reason, Peter is not here. So Peter kind of softened this up for him. But it looks like Hannibal's going to claim the rewards. Alright. So there you go. Poverty Point falls. And Hannibal seems to be getting the most out of this conflict with Sitting Bull. Oh, so now Russia has founded their own religion. That's interesting. For the moment, Russia's following Mal's religion, but hard to say if that's going to last. What's, Mongols doing anything? No. Suri's building up. He's potentially looking to strike someone again. Yeah, Hannibal is looking pretty good here. I agree. Especially if he keeps taking more cities from the Native Americans.
As we do.
As you do, yeah. Poor punching bag Sitting Bull is, it's just kind of there for other people to take stuff away from him. Mao's on wonders right now, so I guess whatever he was plotting in terms of war, he backed off of. Look at the power again. So Hannibal's now tops. Sitting Bull's been kind of taking it on the chin. And the others are fairly close. Temujin's still one of the leaders. There's Mao, and Hannibal's leading in GMP as well. So we have the potential to see a runaway here. He's also leading in food. So Hannibal, like I said, could turn out being... he might end up being top dog here. But we'll see. I'm still not convinced he's going to get all the spoils of this. I feel like some of the other AIs will try to steal some... Oh, okay, so Peter stopped attacking there because he's going for this city, Goose. That seems to be where he's focused now. Or maybe not. Who knows? Hard to understand what the AI does sometimes. Hannibal just picked up a great general. Oh, okay. So this is what Mao was up to. He was capturing this Barb city down here. That's probably why his soldiers were turned around and weren't as focused on dealing with the Native Americans. Probably, just a guess. So, did Peter... No, I was going to say, did Peter just declare war on Mao? I don't think so, because he's already at war. He's already at war with Sitting Bull, so I can't imagine he'd start another war. Also, a lot of great generals being born. And Judaism is apparently the... Oh, wow. So Peter completes Apostolic Palace, but it's for Mao's religion. That's kind of interesting. Hannibal is still, regrouping. He has not sent a new stack against Sitting Bull yet, so we'll keep watching Goose down here. I have Voldemort. I don't know where this stack of Peters is going. He just seems to be running in circles, but Goose is definitely toast here. Also, Suryavarman is sending units as well, so it looks like Suryavarman is also thinking about attacking Sitting Bull. Look at this poor city. It's like units on every side here. And Peter does finish the mausoleum. That's another key wonder. Hannibal is still... I don't know what Hannibal's doing. He still has, sitting around. But it looks like Surrey's potentially jumping in here too. This poor city. Everybody wants a piece of goose. And Peter, not surprisingly, claims it. Alright, now Hannibal is back with these, like, finally regrouped and is getting ready to push on again. Alright, so it looks like a Khmer War declaration here. Sure looks like it. That's a key wonder as well, Mao finishing Statue of Zeus. Alright, so there's war declaration number 4. Everyone just cannot stop themselves from declaring war on Sitting Bull, poor guy. But this is why he was the overwhelming favorite for first to die. It's just everyone else is predisposed to hate him, like from the beginning of the game. And now the question is just who's going to claim his cities more than anything else. At least Sitting Bull does have the ability to construct war elephants. Here's all the Khmer units streaming across the map. It'll be difficult, even if they capture cities, it'll be hard to hold them because they'll, you know, be under so much cultural pressure from the neighboring cities. Why does it seem that Mao does better than his traits would suggest? I don't know. Like, I kept thinking it was a coincidence, but like we've been seeing it in enough games now. His AI seems to be above average. Because like I don't think that he just keeps consistently getting better than average. I don't think he just keeps getting lucky starts or something.
He's a supreme dictator.
So here's Mao's little attack force. We'll see if he chooses to get in on the feeding frenzy. I don't know, there's just something about Mao, maybe because he doesn't emphasize religion that much in this game. It helps him avoid wasting resources. Oh, hello. That's unexpected. So Genghis just declared war on Peter. So that will... I don't understand the logic behind this, but that's going to make things fun to watch. See, this is the problem with Genghis Khan. He's so aggressive he can't stop himself from declaring war constantly. I don't know, maybe this works out. I'm not sure I see it. At least that'll give Sitting Bull a slight reprieve for the moment. Yeah, in the chat. Khan! Pretty much. Peter, this is probably just going to drag Peter down and weaken him. Probably that's the main result. Mao is on construction, just FYI. Get those catapults in play for him. So Hannibal continuing to march. What happened to the Khmer units? Did they die or something? Maybe they fought and, hold on. Power. Nope, doesn't look like Khmer lost anything. By the way, note that Mao is up to 2nd in power now. So he's definitely plotting war. And he's building an awful lot of horse archers, as well as the Parthenon for some reason. I wonder if these units are going to turn around and head home. Doesn't look like it. There's like even... Oh, and there we go. So now Mao jumps into the war too. Not surprising. Alright, so my war declaration count is probably going to be way too low because I only picked 9 and we're already at 6. And we're only a little over 100 turns into the game. So as expected, Mao has also joined the feeding frenzy. Look at poor Sitting Bull. Hold on. This is just sad. Look at this guy. He's at war with almost everyone in the game. He's at war with 4 of his every single one who borders him is at war with him. Anyway, and then Genghis has this stack over here. He does have some super promoted units, though. Look at that. He's already got a whole bunch of units with 3 promotions. Mao wants his coastal cities. True. Yeah. So I guess we just keep the focus on what's left of the Native Americans, see how long they can hold out. Although this initial attack from Mao doesn't look like it was that successful. Someone just lost a great general in combat. So who gets which city is kind of the question. We'll see who gets what. Peter's in good position to get Mound City here. Or maybe Hannibal. So there's no defenses left now. Temujin did succeed in this attack, for what it's worth. He did take a city off Peter. So there's that. Also, Mao's initial attack does not look like it succeeded over here. He just got them low, but didn't actually kill them. Still, with the amount of units he has, it's probably just a matter of time until he and he has elephants now, too. Oh, that was fast. Sitting Bull made peace with Mao immediately. Okay, so I guess he wasn't so serious about that war. Well, that's a mistake from Mao. He could have pretty easily taken some of these cities. Well, more for other leaders then. Looks like Hannibal's going to clean up most of the spoils. People are like, Mao, come on. It's like, all you had to do was keep the pressure on, but looks like you're going to cede the north of the map to Hannibal. Alright, so another city falls. There's only, what, 3 left now for the Native Americans? Probably not much longer now. And Peter now has to deal with all these swords running around in his territory. Temujin does have an awful lot of them. Like, if he takes Novgorod, that's a serious blow to Peter. Oh, and Suryavarman also has this big stack over here, just because. For random reasons. And now we have elephants marching around everywhere, too. A lot of ivory. So 3 cities left here. Oh, you know what? Genghis might even be going for Moscow right now. He should go for Novgorod if he's going to pick anything. Got to keep an eye on where he chooses to attack. Oh, and there's maces on the scene too. Dog soldiers don't do very well against maces in this game. Suryavarman's going to last hit Cahokia. He could. Snaketown. Mao, unable to capture Snaketown. He didn't really put much effort into it. And there's still open territory here for no clear reason. Alright, so Suryavarman did not last hit Cahokia. It was taken by Hannibal, who continues to clean up everything. This war's gone like a charm for him. He's been getting every Native American city, except that one that was taken by Russia. Well, that was a barbed city for most of its history. Alright, the war grinds onward. Yeah, elephants on parade indeed. Is that, that's a Mongol city, isn't it? Chengdu? No, that's a Chinese city, never mind. Yeah, alright, so Taoism founded in the south. It shouldn't really amount to anything. We can refresh map after the Native Americans are gone, which is not going to be much longer, since the Carthaginians are just plowing right through them. Oh, Hannibal was in a golden age. That was probably part of it. So even though Russia... Oh yeah, and I forgot, there's this ongoing war over here. So even though Russia contributed a lot of soldiers, and the Khmer contributed some soldiers as well to this war, they're not claiming any of the spoils. It's like every single spoil is going to Carthage, just cleaning up everything. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'd say Carthage is the favorite, right? It's not to say that the game's over by any means, but like Carthage has cleaned up the most territory. It doesn't hurt that Carthage is financial either. So, to no one's shock, that attack by the Mongols did not capture Moscow. They needed to bring some catapults to have a serious chance of that working. So Snaketown just lost half of its cultural defenses. That's also nice. He picked up Notre Dame. Between Notre Dame and Charismatic Trait, he's not going to have any trouble with happiness. He also has enough territory that he'll have a lot of resources all over the place. Well, this looks like it's it for the Native Americans. So, Sitting Bull, you got a bad hand in this game. You were not given much chance for success. I think he will die on this interturn right here. Yep, that does it. So Hannibal gets the kill. That's actually Hannibal's first kill in this competition too. He didn't have any the first 2 years we did this. Hannibal was actually a huge disappointment the first 2 years. We had a lot of people pick him in both of the games he was in, and he just kind of sat around and did nothing. But not in this one. Well, in this game, so you get both walls and culture provide defenses. So first to die is Sitting Bull, as almost everyone expected. So I'm just going to put this in the spreadsheet now. Turn is 130. Wow, that is an early elimination, 134. We thought he might last a little longer. That ensures that he will be one of the lowest finishing AIs in this year's competition. So the kill goes to Hannibal. Mark that in as well. And then in terms of the scoring, like I said, I think almost everybody had Sitting Bull as first to die, or over half the people in the contest. So I'm not going to try to summarize it, but a whole lot of you get 5 points for correctly anticipating that. Yeah, Hannibal's going to be quite strong now. So like if we zoom out and look at the map, he's got a lot of territory up here. How many cities? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's got 14 cities. That's more than anyone else by a pretty good margin. Mao's the next closest. I think Mao has 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, Mao has 10. So he's like 50% larger than Mao, and Mao is the largest. Temujin has a fair amount too. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 8 cities. Peter has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 over here. Yeah, so Mao has 10. Yeah. As you might expect, absorbing that much territory makes a huge difference. Yeah, we should refresh the map, as you said. So refresh that. And then after, wait a turn or two, as you said, and check out the diplomatic situation. Now, this city might end up flipping to Mao because it's going to be under a lot of Chinese culture as a result of... yeah, so I think it's not actually in the borders of China yet, but Tianjin will expand borders soon, and then it will be. So that city may end up going over to China eventually. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. China almost grabbed this city from the Barbs and almost got this city, and Mao's position would be quite a bit better if he had gotten that. As of right now, he's the clear number 2, with Hannibal being the clear number 1. So there is still one war going on between Peter and Temujin. And I think they're fairly evenly matched. Okay, Mongolia does have catapults now. Or no, never mind. That's a Russian catapult, not a Mongolian one. A lot of fighting for the sake of this one. Oh, China finally put a city on the gold. Oh, okay. China did finally put a city here. That's going to be okay. So China and Russia, long term, they're going to be under a lot of pressure to fight because their borders are popping up against each other. They have the same religion for right now, but long term, they're likely to be at war. Also, Hannibal has now absorbed the Holy City for Confucianism, so Hannibal is a different religion than everyone else on the map. And that's going to strain tensions as well. Now, he might be strong. Well, okay, so these two hate each other. Elsewhere, so right now, those two hate each other. Otherwise, everyone is pretty much pleased, except here. Hannibal's cautious towards Temujin. Now, most of these leaders can declare war at pleased. The only one who can't is Hannibal. He won't declare war at pleased, so he will not attack Mao or Peter or Suryavarman. Right now, he won't attack any of them. But he would attack the Mongols right now, and every other leader can declare war at pleased. So Peter won't attack. He won't attack Mao. He won't attack Hannibal because they're friendly. But he would attack Suryavarman. Surya would attack anyone. Mao would attack anyone other than Peter. So Peter and Mao will not fight each other right now, as much as a lot of you might want to see that. And Temujin, of course, will fight anyone. So yeah, so those two won't. That said, though, remember, Peter did establish his own religion, so if he ends up spreading Christianity around, he could easily drop out of this religion. But for the time being, it looks like we're probably going to have some peace. Hannibal will not drop Confucianism because he controls the Holy City. He's going to build Chichen Itza here, too. So yeah, we've got we got like a clear leader, then we've got a clear second place. Peter and Surya are about the same. Oh, and see, look at that. So Hannibal decided to give Snaketown over to Mao, so that's a nice pickup for him too. +1 city for him, -1 for Hannibal. So they're actually fairly close now. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 12. So 12 cities for Mao, 13 for Hannibal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 12 against 13. So that makes it a lot closer. And meanwhile, we still do have this war between Russia and Mongolia. Mongolia has now started to fall really far behind. If you're wondering why Mongolia's score is so low, it's because Temujin has fallen behind in tech. The big thing he needs to worry about is Suryavarman plowing in and attacking him. Hannibal Suri next war? Maybe. I think Suryavarman's more likely to declare on Temujin, but I could be wrong. That's just a guess. Look at all those elephants running around. So lots of elephants on each side, lots of catapults now. Here's well, Peter's got a nice little force here. Let's see if he can have success against Samarkand. It doesn't look like it. What this is... Yeah, it looks like he came up a little bit short. What this is going to do, though, is it's going to keep weakening these two, who, again, are some of the weaker AIs, and Temujin's now just flipped over to... Alright, so he's just flipped over to the religion of Mao. So, let's see, here's Temujin. So now, yeah, so look at this. So now that he's in a different religion, Suryavarman's relations have dropped with the Mongols as a result of that. Yes, at turn 50 we can do another review, and Hannibal now has dropped as well. Also doesn't like him. Or I guess that was the case before. You just keep trading units here along the borders. A lot of fighting. So, Angkor Wat's not one of the game's key wonders. Just checking in on the other AIs. Wondering if Suryavarman's looking to get revenge on the Mongols. That would probably be the Khmer's best chance of getting back into this game and being a major player, would be declaring war here and taking some cities on the Mongols. Alright, so never mind, we ended up with peace. So everybody's at peace now for the first time in a long time. And China, yes, China's in a golden age. Hard to say who China would really attack, though. Won't attack Peter. Could attack Hannibal, but that would probably backfire pretty badly for Mao. See if Hannibal decides to go after someone, too. I guess he won't declare war at please, so he's less likely to start a war. So for the moment, we kind of have some quiet turns here. I would say that the long-term position of the Mongols is probably not great because they've made a lot of enemies and they just don't have that much territory. I guess technically that war was successful because the Mongols did end up taking this city. Does tropical climate mean elephants more likely? I think it does, because we have been seeing a lot of them. Ivory tends to pop up in jungles, so if there's more jungles on the map, you will likely see more ivory resources. Alright, Mao's Golden Age comes to a close. Wait, did he recently plant this city too? I think this one's new too. I don't remember that being there. On here on deity difficulty, any city is worthwhile for the AI. They get like super cheap cost to build everything and super cheap growth. So like even Kaifeng here, which is a really lousy city, is definitely still worth founding for them. If nothing else, it gets him furs. Cultural victory for Mao. He did build the Sistine Chapel. He's actually been building a lot of wonders. I'm just checking to see, right now Temujin's building some desperately needed infrastructure. Looks like Hannibal's going to claim liberalism. Yeah, Hannibal and Mao do appear to be ahead in tech, based on what they're researching compared to the others. Like, they haven't broken through to the next generation of military tech yet, but they're close to it. Like, they're not too far off from getting gunpowder and then military tradition. Alright, so there it is. We were kind of expecting this. Suri piles in. He probably should have done this slightly earlier, but he goes ahead and gets... This is his attempt to get revenge against the guy who attacked him earlier. It's a shame he, for his sake... Oh, wow. That's a nice stack there. Look at that. A lot of swords, 10 chariots, 5 catapults. Let's see what the... Well, let's just advance one turn, because it'll be turn 150, and then we can look at the bar graphs and the tech situation and all that. All right, overview, turn 150. Oh, and there's still a Barb City down here, apparently. So, yeah, this city is probably going to fall. But let's go ahead and look at our bar graphs, because we're 150 turns into the game. Look at this, Mao and... So yeah, Mao and Hannibal way ahead of the field. Way ahead. You should be able to look at your prediction. I think there's a way to look at your prediction in the Google Docs sheet. I think you can do that by hitting like edit or something like that. But regardless, so yeah, these two are way ahead in GMP. They're both ahead in production. Ignore the spikes from Golden Ages. They're ahead, and Peter's close as well in production. They're also neck and neck in food. Hannibal's pretty far ahead in power, though. And note that the Mongols have been fighting so much that they're now way behind the Khmer in culture. Oh, well, look at this. So Mao detonated a culture bomb at some point, and he's leading in culture. And espionage is not really that relevant. Okay, cool. So let's look at their beaker output right now. I don't think anyone's in a golden age. So, yeah, Temujin is struggling right here. 77 beakers. Not so great. Hannibal is at 455. So if you want to know why the Mongols are in bad shape long term, look no further. Mao is a little bit behind, 359. So he's trailing. Peter, oh wow, 120 on Peter. 118. Oh, geez. I didn't realize that. Yeah, so Mao and Hannibal are really far ahead in terms of their teching. 77 beakers at turn 150. You're like, well, alright, so here's what Temujin has. He has Code of Laws and Feudalism. Otherwise, he's in like the kind of the early classical age. Hannibal is quite a bit ahead in tech, and he's about to slingshot liberalism too and get the free tech. So Hannibal's like a full age ahead in tech. Mao's not quite at the same point, but he's not too far behind. He's just about finished medieval and is about to enter Renaissance. Peter is he's like halfway through the medieval period, I'd say, roughly. And Surrey is about the same place. I think Peter's slightly ahead of Surrey Varman. Temujin is in bad shape from a tech perspective. R.I.P. Peter for third. Yeah, Hannibal's definitely winning. It's pretty clear he's the leading AI right now, especially with him getting liberalism here. Oops. And so what tech did he take? He probably took astronomy, would be my guess. AI seem to like going for that one. No, he went for nationalism, the classic play. Went for nationalism. So Ninghasia, the defenses are down. So I expect this to be attacked and captured here by Surrey. There it is. All right, so not only did he get this city back that he lost earlier, he takes the city off Temujin as well. And he also finishes his shrine on the same turn. So a good turn for the Khmer. Definitely a good turn for them. And now Hannibal's on guilds. Over here, the two big civs seem to be peaceful for the moment. So we can keep our focus just on Surya Varman and on Temujin, Genghis Khan, right now. Oh, the other thing we should do is just briefly check the diplomatic situation to see if anyone's willing to pile into this. So Peter, of course, is willing to attack Temujin. He doesn't like him. He will not attack Mao or Hannibal. He would potentially attack Surrey Varman, but he's much more likely to attack Temujin, because that's the guy he dislikes. Surrey's in a war, he's not going to fight anyone. So Hannibal would be willing to attack Temujin. He won't attack anyone else. Mao would be willing to attack Temujin or Surrey Varman. He won't attack the other one. So unfortunately for the moment, our two big dogs will not fight each other. So we don't have that conflict to look forward to. Oh, and then they make peace. Okay, well that was a short war. Short war there. So it just took the one border city, and now we're back to peace again. There's enough hatred built up that I don't expect this to last that long, though. I would have thought he would have kept that war going. He seemed to be doing well. Surrey Varman also has enough culture that he can hold this spot without too much trouble. But we'll just keep an eye out, see if anyone else looks to be plotting war. I don't see it at the moment. You can usually tell because the AI has got units like everywhere. I'm not seeing it at the moment. Peter, all right, so this could be noteworthy. Peter finished the shrine for his self-founded religion. We'll see if he decides to spread that around and then convert. The AI does have a strong preference for their own self-founded religions. China has baseball. They got Mo Berg. It would be hilarious if China went for a cultural victory or something. Now China is building quite a few units right now. I just see a lot of knights in production. I don't know if that necessarily means anything though. The AI does just often build a lot of units, and I'm seeing elephants and Buddhist missionaries right now. Does anyone have statue of Zeus? I believe Mao has the statue of Zeus. So we'll just look at the wonders real quick. I know it was built. Yeah, China has a statue of Zeus, so that could potentially be important. Russia has the mausoleum, which would be a juicy prize if someone captured it. And Hannibal just finished the Taj Mahal for another golden age. Does Genghis have a city surrounded by ice? Also, there's still a barbed city down here that everyone's been ignoring. It might finally come under attention now that there's universal peace. Yeah, he has this city that is only accessible by water or through Russian territory. It was a Russian city that he captured. Oh yeah, oh that's it. And Peter does have the Apostolic Palace. Perhaps that's what caused that war to end. To the left. Oh yeah, this city, Tabriz. It's all ice and tundra in the... He's growing on these 2 food, 0 production tundra tiles. Some of the worst tiles you can get in the game. Yeah, not great stuff. But, yep, mostly peaceful right now. On the power bar graph, see how Mao's power has been going up? I suspect he's thinking about attacking someone. I wonder if he would be foolish enough to attack Hannibal. That would probably not go well, but who knows? Most are just keeping an eye on and waiting for the next big action to take place. We have a winner for real poverty point. Yeah, that would be the real poverty point in this game. Alright, so there it goes. So, Peter may have just signed his own death warrant by doing this, by converting to Christianity, because he just lost his shared religious faith. So right now, Peter went from being friendly with Mao to being only pleased, which means he can declare war. So that's potentially significant. And Genghis of course dislikes Peter. And Suryavarman could declare war on him, although they have shared civics. Yeah, there it is. So Mao could go after Peter, and that might be a smart decision. It would be an even better decision if Mao would tech to gunpowder and military tradition and then attack. But he does seem to be thinking about it, because he's got an awful lot of knights and Choco News in production. How does Hannibal still not have a library in some of these cities? How does Chaco only now getting a library? Oh, I guess that makes sense. I was how is he only just now getting a library? And then it's wait, Chaco's a terrible city, that's why? But yes, Mao absorbing territory from Russia would be probably his best chance to win. Still, we'll see what he decides to do. He did just adopt theocracy, too. There are castles everywhere across Russia, though, so this would be a difficult time to attack, just on the tech tree, I mean. But seems to be building up to do something. This city in particular is under a lot of pressure from Chinese culture. Would seem to be an obvious target if Mao were to go to war. Meanwhile, Hannibal's just doing... Oh. I was like, what? Nobody's at war. And then I was like, oh. Yeah, there was a Barb city. Last one left. Mao did found Islam. For some reason. I don't know why he was researching Divine Right. Cultural victory, yeah. I don't think anyone's going for a cultural victory in this game, but we shall see. I could be wrong. With leaders this aggressive, it's rare to see a period of peace like this, where everybody's just hanging out, doing their thing. Even with that Barb City, Genghis Khan is really far behind. So Chokonus are of the same stats as catapults. The difference is they also deal collateral damage. That's the difference. They're the only non-siege unit that does collateral damage. I'll see if I can find one on the map and highlight it, since it was requested and there's not like a ton going on. Mostly they seem to be in these stacks though. If I just hit next turn, the AI will probably shuffle them around. Alright, so that sure looks like an attack that's getting ready, because that's an awful lot of units. Like, call me crazy, but this sure looks like Mao's about to declare war on Peter. Which would be pretty big. Would certainly help his odds of winning the game. Alright, Choco News, is there anyone that's just by itself? Not that I'm seeing one. Well, you know what, we can always just go into the Civilopedia. They're visible there. Here you go. That's what they look like. And yeah, see, they do collateral damage. I guess they also get additional first strike too. Or apparently they're heading somewhere else. Well, they're not heading for Russia, although that would seem logical. I guess they're heading for Temujin then. Alright, so we get another war. They're heading somewhere though. If they're not heading for Russia, there's really only one place they can be heading. Looks like, well, they might be heading for Suryavarman as well. Doesn't seem to like that guy either. Mao could attack Genghis. He could also attack Khmer. None of that would seem to make as much sense as attacking this city right here. But who knows? It's the AI. They do weird things. Alright, so here's Suryavarman's attack force. So these two are back to war again. No surprise. The vile Mongolian. Yeah, the Mongols are not that popular. Well, they look like they might be heading for Khmer, which is a really weird target. Mao, please. Not like this. He's planning to attack someone. Well, it looks like he's going for Suryavarman, based on what we're seeing here, which doesn't seem to make a lot of logical sense to attack the person who is literally the furthest away from him in the entire game. Note that Hannibal's on rifling, by the way, so if Hannibal decides to jump into one of these conflicts, not going to go well for them. Yeah, it sure looks like he just attacked. It's possible that Temujin bought him in. Well, no, actually no, because if he had bought him in, it would have been an immediate war declaration, not this walking all the way across the map thing. And Hannibal just swapped civics. Alright. Well, we certainly are getting a lot of war declarations. I was way too low on this. We're already at 9, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot more. So that is probably bad news for the Khmer. The fact that they're getting it now, they're at war with 2 opponents at once. Yeah, wow, Mao's tops in power, and Peter's building up to attack someone too. Who's Peter? Peter would probably attack Russia, Peter would attack Russia. Yeah, that makes sense. Peter is going to attack Temujin if he goes to war because he hates that guy. What a confusing situation. But this is not a good situation for Suri. I genuinely do not understand what Mao's thinking, but he sure looks like he has enough to take this city. Although he only has 2 catapults, so that means he'll probably sit here forever, attacking, bombarding down the walls at 4% each turn, or whatever it is. Meanwhile, this is the main focus of the Khmer and the Mongols, this border city right here. Here comes more knights riding across. Peter, come back. Hey, he's probably... It looks like he's too far behind at this point, but hey, you never know. Yep, 2% or 4%. 2% damage from each of 2 catapults. Note that Hannibal has just picked up rifling and is now grabbing military tradition, though, so if he chooses to attack someone, which he probably will eventually, it's not going to be pretty, because he is a generation ahead in tech, whereas like Mao is at the same generation of tech as Sergei Varman. Even if he takes the city, it's not like he can hold it. It's just going to be swallowed up by the culture of Carthage. Yeah, like 2% defense. Okay, so there is also what we predicted. So another war, no surprise there. Peter grabs back the city he lost. The thing is, if Mao had been smart enough to declare war on Temujin instead, or Peter, he would be cleaning them up right now. Instead, he's in this war that makes no sense. Like, can you imagine if he was at war with, if he had declared war on Peter, like right after Peter attacked the Mongols, he'd just race right across Russia and capture those cities. Instead, he's like in this bizarre 4-way war with like, it's like a 2v2, right? It's Mongolia and China against Russia and Khmer, and Hannibal's just gonna sit there and like tech away the whole time. Very strange. Only 15 more wars? I would have said that's not likely to happen, but at this point, who the heck knows? There's been a lot of fighting in this game. Oh, somehow this just went down to 52%. Did they finally get like some more catapults up here? Or am I just looking at it with a gunpowder unit? So this city's probably going to fall. Yeah, Peter has picked his war timing pretty well. So there's one other thing we should look at, and that is if Hannibal declares war, who would he attack? He's most likely so he would attack both Mao and Temujin. If he attacks Mao right now, that would pretty much seal the game for Hannibal if he chose to do that. He doesn't appear to be building much military right now, but something to keep an eye on. If he decided to turn and attack Mao, that would basically end any drama about who's going to win the game, as Mao continues to sit here bombarding 2% of the defenses each turn. Needs more catapults. And over here the Khmer are advancing. So Peter triggered a golden age, and remember he is the mausoleum, so he gets the longer golden ages. This is probably the next city to fall here, Samarkand. Yep. So there goes another one. Did he sign peace, or did he just turn around and retreat? I think he just signed peace. Alright, so maybe Mao will go back and pick a smarter target for his aggression. That's probably the best thing Mao could have done there, was just get out of that war and think about declaring war on Peter instead. Anyway, so now we're down to just this 2-way war, and Temujin is probably the next one to exit the game. He still doesn't even have engineering yet, and that's not good. Mao's been in, yeah, he's been in 2 wars for like 5 turns. This will free up Khmer units that were up here to go and join in this attack. There's a pretty substantial Khmer force over here by Turfan. I don't know if that's enough to capture that city. We'll find out. There are 60% defenses on a hill with longbows, so probably not, but we shall see. Nope, it was enough. The vile Khmer. Yeah, so Mao built all those units and he didn't really get much out of it. Not yet, at least. Alright, so there goes another city. Mongols sure look like they're the next ones to fall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 cities left, excuse me. And this will help Peter and Surrey get a little bit back in the game. And Mao's got his big force now slowly trickling back across into his territory. Oh, there's the Choco Nu, by the way, if you wanted to see them in green. There they are. Finally got a chance to see one by itself. Hannibal building the Statue of Liberty, getting further ahead. Still loving the random Great Wall section. Yeah, this little section here. Now go after someone you can beat. So, forces continue to march onwards. There's one trebuchet here. How about Russia? On the march as well, with several trebs. So should be able to get through Old Sarai faster. Temujin finally finished engineering, so he can start to build castles. Like, the defenses are falling pretty quickly in these cities. I don't think Old Sarai is going to last very long. Yep, there goes that one. As Karakorum is under attack now, too. Looks like this territory is going to be divided between the Khmer and the Russians. And then we'll see what this game looks like after that, after we get down to just 4. I don't see either of these sides signing peace and letting the Mongols off the hook. So that's the biggest problem with the Mongols. They're so aggressive, or not the Mongols in general, because Kublai can often do well, but Genghis Khan is just so over-aggressive. He picks wars nonstop, and he just doesn't develop his economy very well. That would be interesting if somebody signed a defensive pact, too. Defensive pacts are one way to get wars to start that would not start normally. 2 people sign a defensive pact, and then even if someone's friendly with someone else, they get pulled into a war that they did not intend to fight. So who's going to get this city? Is it going to be Khmer or Russia? Could be either. Well, looks like it's going to be Khmer, because the Russians just all attacked and died. But they've weakened everyone inside to the point where Suryavarman can take this pretty easily. Nope. Didn't take it on that turn. Still bombarding defenses, I think. It hops universal suffrage. The Russians look like they're going for the real poverty point down here. Mao just swapped all his civics, but he stayed in Judaism, so it's not a significant change there. Genghis, the poor man's Montezuma. He's holding for the moment, though. I don't think it's going to last much longer, but he's desperately fighting on his capital. Look at this one pike. He has a pike that's combat 4 formation. Jeez, that's a good unit. He has a combat 5 pike, too. Pretty good against mounted units. Combat 4 formation is, so pikes always get 100% bonus against mounted. That's another 40% and then another 25%. So 165% strength against mounted. Pretty good stuff. So it looks like Temujin actually held off that attack. Again, I don't think these AIs are going to sign peace, and like this little city, Tabriz, just fell as well. Well, just as I say, Peter's probably not going to make peace. Oh, wow. Both signed peace. Okay, so the Mongols survive for the moment. I wonder if that was an enforced peace via the Apostolic Palace. Wouldn't be shocked. So there's still a lot of anger towards the Mongols. Hannibal does not seem to like Mao. Look at this. He's annoyed towards, or cautious towards Mao. Mao does not like Suryavarman still, for some reason. Yeah, Apostolic Peace. I expect they'll go back to war, though. And that's an awful lot of cabs being built. So remember, the only one that Hannibal can declare war on right now, he can only declare war on Mao. Only one he can attack. So that might not bode well for someone who is such a popular pick, because Hannibal's a generation of military tech ahead. Like, Mao still doesn't have rifling yet. He has democracy, and he's about to get scientific method, but he doesn't have do it, Hannibal, you know you want to. He doesn't have rifling yet, which means that he's a sitting duck if Hannibal actually attacked him. And it looks like the game's heading in that direction. He also, wow, another Golden Age. And he's about to finish Statue of Liberty. Mao's pretty close in score, but Hannibal definitely is ahead in tech. And that makes a big difference. It's an awful lot of cavalry running around. And he just finished Statue of Liberty, which is one of course, the key wonders. Yeah, Temujin is toast. I can't see him surviving to the end of this game. Someone's going to finish him off. Like, there's too many people who hate him. Yeah, did we mention Hannibal's in a golden age yet? I know, right? Good call. What is Temujin building? More military. Because of course he is. I wonder if Hannibal regrets giving Snaketown over to Mao, which he handed over for free, now that it's a size 17 city.
I think he's a computer, he can't regret.
Well, of course not. Liz, if in case you didn't hear, Liz said he's a computer, he can't regret anything. Tech trees, that's a good request. Let's do it on turn 200, because we're about to hit that. Suryavarman now has Cuirassier. I don't know why Mao is so slowly researching physics. Genghis finished Alphabet on turn 197. I think that summarizes Genghis Khan in this game. Alphabet finished on turn 197. So we do have some civics being swapped around. I don't think any particularly significant ones. Not ones. Oh, look at this. So Mao was able to get back to pleased, so Hannibal will not declare war on him, and will not declare war on anyone at the moment. Yeah, so he won't attack anyone right now, which is unfortunate because we'd like to see Hannibal do something, but he won't. Temujin will certainly attack someone. Suryavarman will attack anyone. He can go to war with anyone here. Mao will not fight Temujin or Hannibal, so the big conflict is still not going to happen yet. Almost certainly the next war involves the Mongols in some way. Alright, so we'll start with the tech leader Hannibal. He has a lot of tech. He is like early industrial at this point. Let's see what he's got. And then we'll go to Mao. Mao is quite a bit behind. Mao is about 8 or 9 techs behind. And he really should research rifling to make himself safer. Then Peter is further behind that. Wow, they are quite spaced out on the tech tree. Peter is like done with the medieval era. He has some of the Renaissance techs, maybe like halfway through the Renaissance era. Suryavarman is about the same, just with different techs. And then we have Genghis, who is researching paper. It's like halfway through the medieval era. It's like here's what Genghis has, and then here's what Hannibal has. It's like 2 eras worth of difference at this point. Yeah, did the comparison. I mean, so for Mao, it's just he's a little bit less territory. He's not financial. He doesn't have the Statue of Liberty. Like, he just is... he's not quite as strong as Hannibal. And Hannibal just swapped his civics around, but he didn't swap out of... he's still in the same religion, so...
For a young man killed in battle, to lie mangled by the bronze spear. In his death...
We, the Observer Civ, also discovered bronze working, so hooray for that. Hannibal's golden age has ended. He's finished the Kremlin. Yeah, on civil service. The one time I didn't pick Hannibal. I think he's likely to win. It's not guaranteed at this point yet. Right now, I'm mostly just waiting until someone decides that they're going to attack the Mongols again. Like this stunted runt of a civ they have left. Hannibal is financial charismatic. Charismatic is not generally a very useful trait. Oh, and he also just finished a shrine. He's building a lot of research. I guess it's because he can't declare war on anyone and he's tops in power. He doesn't see the need to build more units right now, which is probably smart. So we can do these turns pretty quickly because no one's at war. There's not like a conflict to watch. It's an awful lot of Russian units moving around on the border. I don't know if that necessarily means anything. Oh, hello. That's a pretty good stack Peter has there. Is he getting ready to attack? Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised. Not yet, but he sure has a lot of units literally right next to Mongolian territory. So I wouldn't be shocked. Anything going on elsewhere? Mal seems to be building universities. Tech gifts to get better background music. You guys want a different era's worth of music? Alright. There you go. You want the medieval music instead? I actually don't mind the ancient music. Alright, so no. Not a war there. Pretty quiet right now. Just a lot of researching going on. That's fair. 200 turns of the same music can get old. That's a fair point. Oh, there we go. So, okay, that's... Well, after not much going on, we suddenly have a huge event in that Hannibal declares war on Mao, our two game leaders. And this is probably not going to go well for Mao, for what that's worth. As the chat is like, oh my god! So, Mao has inexplicably refused to research rifling tech. I don't know why he did that. But this is probably going to end poorly for him, because this is the power bar graph for Mao. Yeah, Mao. People are like, no, apocalyptic war incoming. Mao is very far ahead in tech, and he has a full generation ahead in tech. Plus, he now has calves running around, and calves pretty. Oh, he has cannons too, because he's finished steel. So calves can usually shred through pretty much anything that's prior to them on the tech tree. If you've ever watched our multiplayer games at Realms Beyond, calves just destroy everything that comes before, anything equal to them or before them on the tech tree. They even do decently against infantry because they have such a high base strength, and then it gets higher with promotions. So this is probably, I mean, if this war doesn't end, Mao will probably be killed. But the question is how long, how willing Hannibal is to keep this going. Oh, geez, and now Peter's jumping into the war too. Okay, it looks like he was not prepared for this, so I think he got pulled in by Hannibal. Oh boy, those two are good friends the whole game too. Yeah, because like Peter doesn't have a huge stack charging over the borders from... Oh, no, never mind. Yes, he does. He does have a large stack. Okay, so this is probably doom. It's probably it for Mao. It's going to be really hard for him to defend against both of them attacking him. Snake Town. Snake Town's getting battered pretty hard. And it just got captured. So that's one city down already. Where is... So, I was going to say where's the Apostolic Palace, but that's controlled by Peter, not by Mao. Well, Mao, who's been doing very well the whole game, also continuing not to research rifling tech. Yeah, and Hannibal, as was pointed out in the chat, is about to hit Assembly Line 2, which will open up factories and infantry. Yeah, I don't see this ending well for China. This could just be China collapses out of the game here. And a great general's born. Several great generals born. Mao, this game was set up really well for him, but just has not been able to take advantage of it. Yeah, the question is whether the Apostolic Palace will stop this war. That's very possible. So there is some incentive for Hannibal to move quickly to try and stop the... Alright, that is pretty crazy. So Genghis declares war on someone who's much stronger. And another city falls. Where's Shandong? Oh, there. Oh, wow. Right there. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Not sure why he went after that city instead of Macau. But I need to tick up the war counter again, because I didn't do that. And now everyone in the world is at war again. Oh, AP. No, this wasn't an AP war. If it's an AP war, you will literally see everyone in the game join the war. I think that this war will backfire horribly for Temujin. I expect him to be run over very easily by Suryavarman. Temujin fears nobody. Well, no, that's true, but maybe he should. Even more war declaration. Yeah, that early peace with Sitting Bull was a disaster. He should have, if he had continued that war and captured a few more cities, then he would have been in good shape. So there goes another city. I expect pretty much all of these will be taken by Hannibal. Like, he'll have to wade through a lot of culture, but it's probably just a matter of time. Meanwhile, over here, this city, I can't. Here's Suryavarman's big stack is right here at Turfan, but I expect that he'll retake Ning Hsia very quickly too. And he did indeed take Turfan. All right, so yeah, it's just like cabs running around everywhere. And Mao continues not to research rifling, the one tech that might allow him to stabilize. He does have gunpowder and military tradition, but he doesn't have rifling, so cabs against longbows and muskets is not a pretty sight. Oh, there's an axe defending this city. Somehow an axe is the top defender here. That's lovely. The Islamic holy city. We saw last week that the AI places a huge emphasis on capturing holy cities, so that's probably why we went for that one. Ning Hsia has indeed been recaptured, and now the blue wave of Khmer units is rolling down. So the rout is on in China. Oh, I should check the power bar graphs just so you can see how badly Mao's in a state of collapse right now. You can just look at the minimap. Look at all the orange dots on the minimap. It's a little hard to see because it's kind of small on the stream, but like there's just orange dots everywhere, and red dots too. Fortunately, they show up really well against the green of Mao's territory. Sorry for second. Now that your pick for first, I mean Suryavarman, if he takes most of the Mongol territory, he could surpass Peter in score. Not impossible. Peter has more right now, but we shall see. It also depends on if Peter can get territory from. China. Xi'an, where is that? Oh, okay. Well, that's a nice pickup for Russia. That was one of the larger cities. Alright, so we use Hannibal's bar graphs because he's... Yeah. Oh, boy. This is not looking good for Mao. Pretty sure he's on his way out because Hannibal's up here, he's down here. And in that other war in the west, you can see Suryavarman's way ahead too. Got to get some points. Well, Sitting Duck has gotten most people at least some points in this game. Also, Hannibal's now on rocketry, so I wonder if he'll go for space. I'm also going to refresh the map because there's a lot of cities changing hands right now. Yeah, you can see it took a minute there. All right, over here, Karakoram's under attack too, and that city's likely to fall as well on this turn, the Mongol capital. Because there weren't that many units in there. Nope, you're going to put it under siege. Stop to put the city under siege, I think. So that city. I mean, you wouldn't think that this would be the city that Hannibal's trying to capture, but who knows? He got that one too, conquering from the bottom up. I guess he has less culture to wade through, and now the infantry are on the scene too. A lot of rifles, a lot of cabs, a lot of infantry. Walls are really closing in here. The question is, what city is the statue of Zeus located in? I'm not sure which one it is. Or no, I gotta look. Top 5 cities. One of these should have the statue of Zeus in it. Here it is. So the statue of Zeus in Guangzhou, and that's a key wonder, because it's going to be causing terrible war weariness. So here it is. We'll see who ends up getting that. Maybe Peter can sneak a culture victory? I mean, maybe. I don't think he goes for culture that often. You want to see something sad? We've got infantry against maces here. That's a pretty one-sided battle. Even with cultural defenses to help out, that's not one you're going to be winning very often. And there's about 30 cabs ready to hit Tianjin. There's actually 6 trebuchets here, but I guess it still takes a while to get through the castle defenses. Alright, so Tianjin's fallen. Once Hangzhou and Guangzhou fall, that'll open up a ton of culture that's currently crushing Hannibal's gains up here. Yeah, it's just full-on collapse right now. Nanjing, well, geez, look at this. Peter's got a huge stack outside Nanjing, and it's about to fall. So Peter's getting a lot of territory for himself in this war, too. Yeah, he's picked up 2 large cities. So that does raise the question of whether Peter and Hannibal would ever go to war. The current answer is yes. Hannibal is only... Oh, no. Never mind. I was going to say he's only pleased, but then I forgot. He will go to war. Hannibal will not declare war at pleased. And Peter, he's friendly. So right now, no. They're getting a huge mutual military struggle bonus with one another. So at the moment, no, they won't fight each other. Which obviously bodes well for Peter, because he has no chance against Hannibal. Oh, so that city was just taken. Karakorum was just taken. Hannibal did just go to free religion, though, so I don't know whether that's good or bad. But it does mean he loses the religious pluses and minuses. Alright, so who lasts longer? Probably Mao, but maybe not. There are an awful lot of armies running around in Chinese territory right now. I think Guangzhou is going to be captured this turn. Yep, there it goes. So China is just being torn to shreds right now. Yeah, Peter getting, like you said, even like a quarter of the spoils is really big. It puts him way ahead of Suryavarman. Although Surya will get a fair bit here too. It's also true that just buddying up with Hannibal is a really good result for him too, because it means that Hannibal's less likely to attack him if they have the mutual military struggle bonus. It's just like this random squad of cabs attacking here. Race to the bottom, it's true. It's random rolling for me from now on. Well, don't worry, Beijing's building a frigate, so that will help. I take back what I said before. I think Mao dies before Temujin now, because there's just too many units invading, and it's only the Khmer attacking against the Mongols. There's also quite a bit of, quite a few good wonders that were in Chinese territory that are going to be picked up here, mostly by Hannibal, who will snowball further ahead. But Peter might get 1 or 2. Can we see the... No, there's no way to look just at naval power. There's no bar graph that just shows naval as opposed to total power, for better or for worse. Because like Beijing is being attacked by Peter, it looks like he's going to get this city, while Hannibal runs around in northern China. He had some units randomly attacking Chengdu, but I think they all died. Mao's defense is no defense of India. I don't know what that means. So, yeah, military continues to push forward on each side. So Shanghai will probably fall. Oh, now there's anti-tanks in here too, which are actually pretty bad units unless you're specifically attacking tanks. No. I don't know why that popped up. So Beijing just fell. Oh, but it went to Carthage. Ah, I thought it was taken. I thought that Peter was going to get it. Hannibal also finished the Pentagon, so there's that. I thought Peter was going to get this because he had so many units outside the city, but he didn't, and so all the wonders in Beijing end up going over to Carthage. So there goes Shanghai. Oh, sorry. I was thinking in terms of AI Survivor. I was not thinking in terms of Pit Boss 2. So now we just have Hangzhou and Chengdu hanging out. I think Russia will get this one, and Carthage will get the northern one. Right now, Carthage is healing its units before moving forward. Oh, Suryavarman did get the pyramids, although it's probably late enough in the game that that's not that significant. He's healing his forces, and then before he continues on. The Chinese bar graph crash. I know, right? I mean, he was in second place and in great shape, but then he got attacked by by Hannibal, and that was just it. Alright. So it looks like they're both heading for this city right now for some reason, rather than, oops, going for that one in the northeast corner. And down here, Suryavarman is, I'm not sure why he's waiting so long. He does have rifles now, and he has his own calves, so there's not much the Mongols can do long term. Oh, hello, there's a Chinese frigate over there. Backed off from this city, which has a Choconu and a horse archer defending it. Oh, there's a transport. Maybe he's bringing in units by transport. Probably not. Probably going to be captured by Russia. Well, Russia waited long enough that now Hannibal has moved up units, and Hannibal moves before Peter in turn order, so I think Hannibal's going to get this, yeah. Just waited too long there. Peter sat there bombarding the defenses. He refused to just go in and attack. And I'm still not sure why Suryavarman is waiting so long. He seems to have a fair amount of war weariness, but surely he could just capture this city without much trouble. Well, anyway, we'll focus on that. Oh, yeah, now you know you're screwed. You've got horse archers defending and there's artillery rolling up to your city. I should have changed it, claimed it for Russia. Yeah, didn't happen though. I wonder if this one random Russian unit can vulture the city away. I don't think so. Nope, so all that's left now is a catapult. It's the only unit defending, so since Hannibal moves before Peter, he'll get this city too. And that's it. So Hannibal claims another kill. And that's that. Poor Mao. It was going so well for him right up until he got attacked. Maybe he should have researched rifling. That would have helped. I don't think it would have saved him, but it would have helped. Alright, Mao with one city has more score than Khan. Yeah, it's because of all his techs. Alright, so let's mark it in. Second elimination. Mao comes in 5th for this game. Will not be able to repeat some of his strong showing from last year where he was in the championship game. Alright, so game 3. And this is turn 241, 241. And Hannibal scores another kill. 2 for him now. Alright, then there's no points involved because there's no points for second to die, which would be a little too specific of a category. Alright. Poor Mao, yeah, that's not how it's supposed to go. RIP your bracket. Well, sure looks like Hannibal will be the winner now, but there's a lot of question about what victory condition he'll go for. Does he want to go for space? Does he want to go for domination? And second, I wouldn't say Peter has second sealed up yet either. If Surrey can claim enough territory here, he still has a chance to get second. We'll also have to check to see the diplomatic fallout in the wake of that elimination. Okay, so here comes finally now the big stack is moved up, and it has 4 cuirassiers in it. So we'll probably sit to bombard the defenses again, rather than just, yeah, took out 10% of the defenses that turn. Now you need Hannibal to not attack Peter. Well, I think that they have good enough relations that won't happen. So right now, Hannibal is pleased, friendly, pleased. So he won't attack anyone right now. As for Peter, he's friendly with both Hannibal and Suryavarman, so he won't attack anyone. Surrey could, though. He could attack any of these two. I mean, he won't while he's currently in a war, but he would be willing to attack those two. But Peter and Suryavarman are both, or excuse me, Peter and Hannibal are both friendly with each other, so they will not attack one another. So the most likely one to shake things up is Suryavarman, and he won't do that until after his current war is over. Hannibal on, wait, is Hannibal going for culture right now? Because he's on a really slow plastics. Oh, Hannibal has apparently dialed up the culture slider to 90%, and he seems to be going for a cultural victory. So WTF, what the heck? Hannibal, culture victory? What? Well, that's different. Well, we'll see how long he sticks with that. He's got to stick with it for a while. if he wants to follow that path. Unexpected, to be sure. Also, don't be surprised if Peter goes back to war with the Mongols. He really hates the Mongols. My points. You're like, okay. We did have one or two people predict culture. Not a lot, though. This certainly didn't feel like a cultural game. Also, there's some really wacky stuff with the borders over here in China. Like, whatever this little salient is. I mean, he's building temples. He's also building a lot of tanks, though, so who the heck knows what he's doing. Hannibal is so manly he can get away with wearing dresses. Something like that. He's comfortable in pursuing a cultural victory. Alright, so the defenses are down. I would expect the attack to from Suryavarman to come in any any turn now. Which will have no trouble running over Beshbalik. Alright, so as expected. So 2 cities left to go. And it looks like he's pushing forward. It would be better for him if he just attacked without waiting for catapults, because he'll just take the cities much, much faster that way. He doesn't really need them, not with catapults and rifles against a couple muskets and longbows. Like, he can just push forward. He doesn't really need trebuchets to slowly take down the defenses. Like, if he attacks Nusrai, he will capture it. Alright, which he did. And we've reached turn 250. So there's that. The borders of Delhi expand. Hooray. So now down to just 1 city left. And there's a whole bunch of cabs riding toward it, so... Oh, and there's also a frigate here who can bombard defenses. This frigate is probably clashing with these caravels. Can Peter go space before Hannibal goes culture? I doubt it. I won't say it's impossible, but I tend to doubt it. Sorry, we just can't turn our back on them. Yeah, so the walls are really closing in right now. I don't think Suryavarman picked up enough territory to pass Peter. Peter's pretty far ahead in terms of score. The question then will be whether Suryavarman can survive long enough to reach the end of this game. The minimap looks like Elvis. I don't know about that. I'm not sure I'm seeing that. And Surrey just went to... No, he went to free speech, not free religion. There's 1 trebuchet in that stack. But with frigates, he can actually take the defenses out once he's finished killing all the caravels. Meanwhile, Hannibal's like, don't mind me, I've just got a destroyer roaming around here. Yeah, this won't take much longer. More like Conan O'Brien. I don't know. So you guys are seeing like a face, hair, and then sideburns or something? We might have a big peace period. It's possible. Then again, Hannibal is not really close to winning a culture victory, so like this could go on for quite some time. We'll check how quickly he's getting one after this. Hannibal signs defensive pact with Peter. Okay, so remember, Surrey can declare war on either of them, which would then essentially be a declaration of suicide. Red is face, orange is hair, blue is nothing. Okay. Whatever you guys are seeing. So I guess he's going to wait for the defenses to be taken down. That defensive pact is interesting, though, because Surrey can declare on either of them. I don't know that he would, but he could. And if he did, he'd be at war with both of them. That might be enough to get Hannibal over the domination limit. Your move, Surrey. Declaration. I mean, he won't declare war as long as he's at war with Temujin, but it's possible after that he might. This is just sad. He's just sitting here, slowly bombarding the defenses. He has 1 trebuchet that's at 0.76 health. So Peter goes to state property and free speech. There's also always the possibility that... so the AI also likes to annoy one another with spies, and they get malices with one another when they do that. Mongolians are a threat to us all. I don't even think the Mongolians are a threat to the Observer Civ at this point. So they will hurt each other with spies, and then that can drop their relations too. Hannibal does seem to be sticking with the cultural thing for right now. Alright, down to 11%. How's he doing on culture, by the way? Slow. Poverty Point is one of his 3 cities. It's just really bizarre that he chose to go for culture, because he really has not pursued it at all up to this point. Kind of weird. Alright, there he goes. So the other thing is, if he stays on culture long enough, he won't be teching, so he will be... like, he won't be ahead in tech. But that said, he's got so many cities that it'll be hard for anyone to take him down. Oh, apparently Russia... oh, look at this. Apparently Russia was coming over to attack as well. Look at this huge stack Russia had. But anyway, so we get another elimination. So turn 260. Temujin's eliminated. Now we're down to just 3. So not a lot of people going into the wildcard pools. This is turn 260, game 3. Game 3, turn 260. And the kill goes to Suryavarman, who has quite a few kills in this competition in past years. Showing that even though he had kind of a rough start in this game, he's still doing well. Okay. Does Hannibal have any great artists around? It's hard to say. There's not an easy way to look at great artists. So, refresh the map. Alright, we can look at diplomacy. So now the diplomatic screen is pretty straightforward, right? We've got Hannibal. The funny thing is, Hannibal's not friendly with these guys, too. See how there's a minus for your spy was causing trouble? Under normal circumstances, I would say, well, Hannibal could very easily be going to war, but he won't declare on someone when he's only he won't declare it pleased, so he won't attack either of these two. But Suri might. See, look at this. We're upset you signed a defensive pact with our rivals. He's also still got a major religious malice with Peter. So who knows? He might declare on Peter, which would then bring in Hannibal as well. Also, what's our war counter right now? We're at 13. So the question is whether we'll see any more. Oh, we also need to check how quickly Hannibal, who is running around with tanks, by the way, how quickly he's getting culture. Like what's his rough ETA? So he's at his Hadramentum is his 3rd one. It's at 14,469. Let's see, 14,469 against 15,025. So he picked up 550 culture. He needs 35,000 more. At that rate, he's about 60 turns away. Roughly 60 more turns. So he's not close right now. So that gives us a fair amount of time for stuff to happen. No, unfortunately I can't look in the cities. Since I set this up in the world builder, I can't open cities, unfortunately, which is a shame because normally debug mode lets you do that, but sadly I can't, so that's life. So we might have a long period of peace here, as a couple of you pointed out in the chat, but we're looking at roughly 60 more turns. Also, in terms of winning by domination, Hannibal's at 44% population, 47% land area, so he's not that far off. If he absorbed Khmer, he would probably get it. He's also going to be picking up some more tiles because he's running the culture slider, so his borders are going to be expanding. But it's not enough without him attacking someone. Use Great Spy. That's a good point. We probably could use a Great Spy. Well, last year I didn't use the World Builder to do the setup. That's a good point. We could probably debug in a Great Spy. Let's try that. Let's see. No. I would need like a gazillion espionage points to do it, and it's probably not worth it. Good idea though. I think I could do that, but it would require a lot of great spies because Hannibal's been spending a lot on espionage. Anyway, so I think at this point the question, yeah, I would need a lot. So I think the question at this point is, how suicidal does Suryavarman want to be? It's kind of our big question. I'm going to zoom out and get an overview shot of the map. Oh, is Sydney here? And he fell. Hi, buddy. Okay, hold on. Here he is. Hey, buddy. He actually went to the vet this morning, you guys. He was very good. They gave him a couple shots. He got lots of treats because he was very good. Give me a kiss. You never give me a kiss on stream. He's like, I don't perform on command. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was in flying camera mode. Okay. No problems. That was just fine. All right, so yeah, here's our overview. Just down to just 3 at this point. All right. Yeah, see, here's the Observer Civ, right? And then here's Hannibal's espionage. He has so much, I would have to use a lot of great spies. It's probably not worth it. Sydney's doing just fine. It's just very laid back. He had a routine appointment at the vet. It was nothing, no problems. He just, dogs have to get periodic shots, keep their vaccinations up to date. That's all. He did have a major surgery in the spring, but he's recovered nicely. All right, so tech rate, yes. So Hannibal is no research right now, 60 beakers per turn, so he's not getting any more techs. Peter is at 800 right now. I think he's running a lot of gold, so that's not a fair evaluation. He has more than that, and Surreyvarman's at 900 beakers per turn. So here's Hannibal on the tech tree. Let's see. I know he has tanks, so he researched up to tanks at industrialism, and he has flight, so he has fighters but not bombers. So yeah, that's like his tech limit, right? He's destroyers, tanks, marines, and fighters, and artillery. So that's where he ended up. Let's see where Peter is. So Peter's obviously still behind, but not that far behind. He needs to go a little bit further, and then Surrey is further behind than that, but roughly comparable with Peter, a little bit behind. He just picked up assembly line. Yeah, no one's going to infiltrate. But what we might see is some of these cities potentially flipping because Carthage is running so much culture. It's going to swallow up everything on the border, since he is picking up 5,000 culture per turn. And yes, a lot of that's in places where it's wasted. Surrey might have a chance against Pete. Well, he's 1,000 points behind. He can't catch him on his own. He would have to take more territory somehow. There's no way he can just catch up on his own in peaceful conditions. Maybe, though, if Peter loses cities to Hannibal via culture flip, that's about the only way it would happen. The most likely result would be Surrey declares war on one of these two. The defensive pact gets pulled in, and then he gets eliminated. Because Hannibal and Peter still have a defensive pact. But for the most part, not that much is happening right now. We're just kind of waiting to see if someone declares war, or how long it will take Hannibal for his cultural victory attempt to go off, that kind of thing. Like, don't forget, it's not just Peter's cities. Angkor Wat is going to be under serious cultural pressure, too. At least we have like this really, this game has been a pretty big bloodbath so far, I agree. We have had games where we've had games before, so you guys know this was one of the games where we had 6 civs start, right? Because like half of our games start with 6, the other half start with 7. We've had games that started with 7 civs and ended with only 2 of them still alive, so 5 of the 7 civs were killed off. So we've had some pretty bloody games before. Yeah, note that Surrey does not seem too happy with Peter. Like, that's the one he would probably go after. Also, if Peter ever drops out of being friendly with Hannibal, it could happen. The mutual military struggle declines slowly over time. And if they keep running around with spies, that could be a problem too. But, yeah, for the most part. Oh, yeah, so the legendary cities, we can highlight them. I can't open them up and look at them, though. So his legendary cities are Carthage, Poverty Point, and Hadrumetum. So this city here, and then his capital. It's probably just the cities that have the most cottages to take advantage of running the slider. Yeah, Poverty Point is a lot of cottages, so that's where that's coming from. Nobody seems too eager to attack right now. And Peter will not be able to launch a spaceship and win that way before the cultural victory triggers. Yeah, Genghis Khan is a way to unite people. It's like, would you like to build a bank? No. It doesn't even make sense. That city's not producing any gold. Well, I guess I have it at 0. I'm not researching, so I guess I'm technically producing gold. So, yep, just chilling here. Culture cities building wealth. Good question. You would think that they would build culture. Would make more sense. This little pocket of culture is slowly disappearing. Got to bump from 11. Yeah, got to get from 11 gold per turn to 15 gold per turn. Indeed. Very important. So, unfortunately, we might very well just click out the last 60 turns with nothing happening. That does happen sometimes. Diplomatically, this is the kind of thing that we sometimes run into. Down to 700 points. Yeah, I guess Surrey is slowly getting a little bit closer. So what happened to that little pocket of culture that just disappeared? So Peter will lose credit for some of these tiles. Hold on. Some people are like, go, Surrey. Other people are like, no, hold on, Peter. But like this city has a serious chance of flipping away. So he just changed civics. Nothing too serious, though. Just picked up uni suffrage. I guess this city's under a lot of pressure as well. Also could flip. What's this? Surrey is like a lot of cities starving for no apparent reason. I don't know why the AI does that. No, Hannibal's not actually doing research. It's just he's been on plastic so long. Look, he's still on culture. See, he's still on 100% culture. He's just getting slowly close to finishing plastics, just over time. Why is he starving? The AI just does that sometimes. It's hard to say why. Like, they'll just randomly assign everything in the city to specialists. Do domination on always peace. Yeah, I've won the always peace domination before. It's a fun challenge to do. Certainly means playing the game in a very different way. Really focused on culture. ETA for the culture win, good thing to look at. So the last time we checked, it was roughly around turn 320, I think, was roughly where it was set to finish. So Hadramentum's at 27k right now. Advance a turn and see where it is after another. Alright, so it was on 27k. 27. Alright, so we picked up about 600 culture. Needs 22,000 more. We're looking at about 35, 36 turns, so a little bit before turn 320 now, so sped up a little bit. Yeah, he really does seem to have every city on wealth. You refused to help us during wartime. Well, I guess we did at that. Pretty quiet. 688 that turn. Yeah, so we've had a cultural conquest, but it couldn't be always peace because it was necessary to kill some of the defenders to make it happen. I do think that it might be possible in Beyond the Sword to do an always peace domination by using spies to revolt cities, but I'm not certain of that. It was something I always thought about doing, but never actually ended up trying. So I will say Suryavarman's building some military. I don't know if that means he's plotting war, but he is building some. So there's our first legendary city. Needs 2 more. Again, seems unlikely he would declare war, but not impossible. Note that no one's built the UN yet either. I mean, he's still... Oh, hello, so here's something. Peter's now only pleased with Hannibal, so now Peter could potentially declare war on Hannibal. I don't know why he would do that, but he could. He's only pleased. So that throws something else into the mix. That would be pure suicide, but if he were to do that, I mean, it doesn't look like he's planning it. He's building research in all his cities, but if he did, could open up the way for... And that defensive pact is now worn off, too. But if he did, that would open up the door for Surya Varman to finish second, if he and for Hannibal to win a domination victory, if that were to happen. So you never know. Just pointing that out. There is an awful lot of border tension between them. Some people are like, don't do it, Peter. Others are like, oh, please. Will they declare war on someone they have a defensive pact with? I think they can. Like, I don't think you see that very often, but I think it's possible. Peter is working on the Apollo program. Wait, Hannibal killed Mao? Yep, it's true. Wait, now Hannibal is researching? Is that true? Did he back off his, hold on, I'll just check and see. Yep, now he's on 100% research, so, okay. That's random. I don't know why he did that. So yeah, you're right, Hannibal stopped his culture victory, or at least running the culture slider attempt, for some reason. I don't know why he did that.
He wants your stream to go on forever.
So he backed out of that. Some people are saying he's a troll. He just got radio. He just got radio so he can speed it up. Maybe. I mean, he's on computers now, which doesn't do anything for a cultural victory. Maybe he goes back after Eiffel. Who knows? The AI does weird stuff sometimes. It's true, broadcast towers certainly help. He wanted one legendary city and no more. Something like that. Alright, come on. One of you knows you want to start something. I don't care who it is. One of you knows you want to start something. Just so we get a more interesting ending here. Like, they keep running units around, but I don't see an AI plotting war, if that makes sense. Yeah, he's also building rock and roll. Well, the AI always goes for wonders. Sure looks like they're all doing a nice job of respecting each other's borders, though. Eiffel Tower, rock and roll. How much did Peter catch up in tech? Well, he was starting to cut into... Peter's tech, but it didn't last very long. Like, as soon as Hannibal turned tech back on, he shot way far ahead again. So, like, here's Peter. He's at 1,200 beakers per turn. Hannibal... Oh, no, now Hannibal's back on 100% culture. Okay, so now he's back to the cultural attempt again. So, he's at 32,589. Maybe just wanted to get up to mechanized infantry and broadcast towers. I doubt that actually sped up his attempt, though. Now he's at 30 minus 33,329. So he is up to 740 culture per turn. 740. Okay, so he's down to just 22 turns left, but that doesn't really speed him up. Like, he's still right around that turn 320 we were looking at before. He turned it on because Peter caught up in tech. Maybe. That would make sense. That would be pretty logical from the AI, though. More logical than I'd expect. So even though Surya Varman has, like, caught up a little bit in terms of score, I still don't think he can catch Peter, not without some kind of war breaking out and cities changing hand. There goes your turn 295 victory date. Oh, so we did... Alright, so here's something could be interesting. We do have the UN in play now. So it'll be Peter and Surya Varman. And so that means the key vote, or excuse me, it'll be Peter and Hannibal. So the key vote will be Surya Varman. I don't think he'll vote for either of them. Note that the relationship between Hannibal and Peter's been dropping, thanks to your spy was caught causing trouble. So still on Peter and Surya Varman, either one of them could start a war if they wanted to. Maybe a frigate got too close to his capital or something. So Hannibal, as expected, is the Secretary General. Suryavarman voted for him for the Secretary General, but I don't think he'll vote for him for the actual victory, if it would be called for a vote. Creative construction incorporated in Karakorum. Alright, so a lot of announcements, but nothing taking place. No defensive pacts, just everybody seems very content just to chill with one another and be friends. Yeah, everybody just seems very peaceful. Like they're willing to just sit back and respect one another's territory. I guess Surrey is slowly catching up. Now he's only 450 points behind. I think that's because Peter keeps losing territory as the borders continue to get pushed out. Whereas the only place that Suryavarman's losing territory is over here. But it's still unlikely he can pass Peter without a war of some kind. So, still just waiting on Hadrumentum and Poverty Point. Hannibal finishes another wonder. He's going to finish the internet here too in a couple turns with its Al Gore little graphic. When I'm watching these turns go by, one of the things I'm just looking is I watch the mini-map, and if I see like a gazillion little orange dots pour into someone's territory, that would mean that Hannibal went to war with them. Otherwise, nothing probably happened. You can just see from units pouring across the border if someone's gone to war. Alright, global free speech. Not a particularly useful or impactful resolution. And building missile cruisers. And he's got the offshore oil platform, something we don't get to see very often in this game. At this point, I'm hoping to get more points from landing the victory date pretty closely, so that goes through. That means the Observer Civ will be forced into, will also be forced into universals, into free speech. No, there's no nukes. So border for flipping, so like this one, this city is more Carthaginian than Khmer culture. So is this one. Like all these cities are potential flip risks. I guess those two are the only ones. I haven't seen any revolts yet, though. Like, they have to revolt twice to flip, and I haven't seen any revolts. The internet is powered by algorithms. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when we do these games, they don't always have exciting endings. Sometimes they like quietly come to a close. Although Surrey is getting fairly close to Peter in score now. He's gotten it down to only 300 points of difference. I wonder how he's gotten it so close. Alright, so yeah, we're under 10k, or we're about 10k away. And that city's getting like 700 culture per turn. Wait a minute, one sec. So what turn did I pick for this game to end on? I picked 325, so I'll be pretty close. I couldn't remember if I picked 320 or 325. I was thinking maybe I picked 320, and I'll be like right on the nose. Tech's kind of irrelevant at this point because Hannibal's not trying to go for a spaceship victory, he's just going for a culture win. And Surrey looks like he's not quite going to be able to close the gap here. Given enough time, he might be able to, but... Defensive pact. Alright, so we get a victory vote. Again, I expect the vote to be split here. For Surrey versus Peter, alright. So Peter's at 1,300 beakers, Surrey's at 1,200, so pretty much the same. Yeah, it's closer than I thought. I mean, now it's down to, what, about 250? But the problem is the time is running out on this game. Poverty points getting close. 41, 271. Like, we're down to maybe 10 turns left. Oh, you guys are, yeah. I think the vote's going to be split here. Interesting. So Peter did vote for Surrey, but 390 was not enough. Hannibal had enough to block the victory. Yeah, he had a veto block on the results. Interesting result though, right? And it's almost down to just 200 points. I wonder why Surrey is catching up so much. Maybe because he's got creative construction and his cities are just growing faster. Maybe because Peter's losing territory, like this poor city here, that has lost almost all of its 21 tiles. Like, build a bank. We're like, no. Yeah, it is only down to just 200 points now between these two. That's not a big difference. But Poverty Point's getting closer. Just build this stupid bank already. Just to refresh the diplomatic situation again. Oh, so Surrey no longer can declare war on Peter. They're now friends with one another. But it's still possible for either of these two to declare on Hannibal. It is not possible for him to declare on them. If it was, I expect we would have already seen a war by now. Build a bank. Looks like Laguz will join Carthage soon. I assume you're referring to Goose here. Well, the problem though is Peter has enough units in. So Surrey signs a defensive pact with Peter. Ooh, interesting. There's enough units here that they can probably suppress the chance of a flip. So that drops relations slightly. It's like they get angry you signed a defensive pact. So the still question is if one of these two would attack Sergivarm, or if either of the two weaker leaders would attack Hannibal. I doubt it, but I've seen stranger and more suicidal things happen. So wow, these two are getting close. Now it's down to just 150 points separating them. But we're down to just 2,500, like 2,500 culture left. Boy, Surrey has come really close here to that second place spot. Man, if he had founded like another city down here in the tundra, and that might have been enough. Or if Peter had lost one more of these cities. Like, if Peter had not claimed Xi'an, I think that would have been enough to do it too. No, Hannibal's not back to teching. I'm pretty sure he is still running 100% culture. Pretty sure. He's just close to getting a tech, that's all. Universal environmentalism. Geez, this is about as close as we've seen for second place. Again, I still don't think Peter can be caught, but it's tight here. 2,000 culture to go. Peter is picking up a tech this turn, though, which will give him score points. Alright, so Peter just surged ahead again after picking up that tech. Oh, I was forced into environmentalism. Poverty Point got bombed. It might have been at some point. It's hard to say. So Poverty Point will go legendary on this turn. Alright, so Poverty Point has achieved legendary culture. And it looks like Hadramentum will go legendary on the next turn. So this is it. The game's going to end on turn 320. Geez, I put turn 325. If I had put turn 320, I would have gotten a big bonus for landing the turn exactly. Some people will. There'll definitely be some people at turn 320 exactly. So that's it. It looks like we just had an uneventful run out to this game. Surrey came close, but he just couldn't quite manage to catch up to Peter. Peter did enough. Although it looks like there was just a revolt this turn in one of Peter's cities, but it didn't matter. Still hangs on to win. Culture victory, turn 320. Hannibal just calmly decides to win by culture at the end. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put these in. First place, Hannibal. Second place, Peter. Third place, Surrey Varman. Hannibal moves on to the playoffs along with Peter. And the wildcard game, Surrey goes there. Strange game. Not what we were expecting.